passion shows. He's the captain of kindness, the teacher we need, helping every simmer take off and succeed. He speaks in calm tone, steady and clear, breaking down the lessons, erasing the fear. From takeoff to landing, he covers it all. In his virtual cockpit, you'll never feel small. A community's heart, a mentor, a friend. He'll stick by your side till the lessons end. It's more than a game, it's the art of the air. And with Forder's guidance, you'll always get there. Fly with Forder where the knowledge flows, through the winds of wisdom where the passion shows. He's the captain of kindness, the teacher we need, helping every simmer take off and succeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look to your right. There's Lord Frites, and I just want to welcome him in for the session tonight. He's going to join us, the developer of the Quasar. We're going to unveil the product soon. We're going to go take a look at it in a minute. And I want to say hi to everybody in chat, but I really want to welcome in Lord Frites. Welcome in.
Thank you very much, Howard. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here, for being impatient to see the Quasar live. So yeah, very excited to be here and see how it goes.
The Quasar life. Yeah, it really is. Like, you start thinking there is a whole different life in here when you're starting to do this. I know a bunch of us who are going to be demoing tonight, we've been doing some missions in this product, and man, that's even more fun than just learning the plane. We're going to be learning the plane inside out, get to know it well, and we're going to have some demonstrations by the ForderLearnToFly team, and we're also going to have any comments you wish to make to Stefan. Well, we can call you Stefan or Lord Frites, one or the other, right? As we go through, right?
Stefan is fine.
Now, you're tuning in all the way from France, if I remember the last time when we were looking at your Gabriel product, right?
Yes, exactly, from France.
And so that means you're probably around 10 o'clock in the evening. So
it's even past that. It's 11:20.
Yeah, 20 after 11.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. You guys, what dedication.
5 hours.
Yeah.
We're very fortunate. Yes, we're very fortunate.
Honestly. Do you want us to pin Stefan on screen?
Yeah, could you do that, please? Yeah, thanks. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. All right, so
yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Of course, I have to work tomorrow to get early, to get out of the bed early enough. I mean, not too early, but still in the morning. But yeah, it's still a pleasure. It was a pleasure to working with you with the Gabriel and with the XF11 and even the Scrapyard Monster, actually. So yeah. It's still a pleasure to be here for the Quasar, of course. Great memories for sure, yeah, on those products. And those products are still available, everybody, but take a look at this new one tonight. This is the focus, I'm sure, and some of you in chat are here for the first time. You've heard about this going to be happening from whatever media it was sent to. And so welcome in chat. Say hi in chat if you're here for the first time. And for the rest of you who have joined us, thanks for tuning in and thanks for your dedication. So without further ado, I want to move over to a main screen. I'm going to give you the first preview, you guys, if you haven't seen it yet. This is the first preview of the Quasar as we go to our next screen. So take a look at this. Here it goes. This is what the Quasar looks like. Did that take anybody's breath away? Tell me in chat. Honestly, didn't that take your breath away? It's like, what is that monster? We got a few of them on the field. We got a few of us here with them, and we're going to be demoing it and taking it out and getting to know it from outside to inside and everything in between. So this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh. And I'm just going to do a quick overview like this, just so you can see what we're after here. This is the beast that's been top secret for a while. Here, let me just go back to this mode here. Oops, this mode here, where I've got... There we go. That's better. And then we can just see the product, not the guy walking around. So first of all, we're just taking a look at the back end of this thing.
And we're going to learn more about its features in the actual presentation and the actual lesson, you guys. So let me know if the audio is good. This is a special overlay we made for Lord Frites and this product. So you guys, if things are out of order, just say so in chat and we'll make sure that they get fixed. But if you take a look at this thing, this looks like a powerful aircraft. And let me tell you guys, it's probably the most powerful one we've looked at so far. We're going to talk about the engines. We're going to talk about how much thrust each one produces, how it gets its power. We're going to talk about how this thing survives at whatever extremes we're going to take it to. And we've got a few of us standing by that are going to demonstrate it in different environments along the way. So this is it at rest with all its covers and everything in place. And we're going to make this thing come alive, and away we go. So this is something like we've never seen before. And that's what we're going to be going into in great depth, you guys. We've got a few of you over there also that are getting ready to take off, and we're going to be heading out and showing you a few things. And we're going to do lots of demo. So what I'd like to do first, Stefan, I'd like to actually just show them the, let me just see if I can find a cursor here. I'm going to show them the release trailer because it's just so well done.
Yeah.
We got to start with that, you know. So that's what we're going to do. We'll move over to, if I can find it here. There it is. Let's move over to the theater. And from here, we'll go full screen from there. And the audio should be okay. Let's see how this goes.
Well, my dad was a simmer, flying on Airbus of all sorts, and Cessnas like everybody else back then. But of course, it was never enough.
Internal core structure, 90%. We've lost flight control response. Hold on, Captain. Welcome back, Captain. System status. Checked and ready. Let's make some history today.
The world had just become too small.
Available for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024.
It's a nice trailer, right?
My gosh, that trailer is just breathtaking, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
And all of the quotes from Maverick are starting to come through now from Top Gun.
Yeah.
So, look at, there's the applause, right? Thank you, Srap, for that. It certainly needs an applause. That trailer is breathtaking. There's some views in there. We've taken pictures and videos, and we've done a lot of practicing with this. Our whole team has, and yet what you've captured in that trailer itself is just amazing. I mean, I can't watch it enough, you guys. And so, Stefan, if you want to put that link in our live chat there, then people can still go and see it again, right?
Sure, I can do it.
And Oz
The
says,
trailer was not made by me. If anyone is just mistaking, it's made by Captain Kenobi, who is also a French YouTuber, and he's very gifted with cinematographic skills, and that's why I'm super happy he made this trailer, and he made it serious, because that was also but I think we will talk about that. We really wanted to get people to understand that it's, even if it looks like a spaceship, like a toy or anything, it's a serious aircraft that is demanding. That at the very beginning of the trailer, you see that the guy is in danger, and that's what happens to everybody who flies a Quasar for the first time.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, spill their cup of coffee, gulp.
Exactly.
So that is very well done. And if you want to put the link to the trailer like that we just showed, and also if you want to put a credit into the developer of that, you were mentioning the person, then maybe any of the rest of us who need trailers done would just call on them, because the work that people do usually speak for the quality that they can produce, and that's a good calling card right there.
Yeah, but the credits for his name is David, but the nickname is Captain Kenobi. Everything is in the description of the trailer, so if you want to see what he does. Also, he also made some trailers for Miltech and for some other developers.
Wow.
So yeah,
So well done.
great guy.
Very well done. All right, so let's get into it, you guys, so we can start demoing it. So one of the things we want to do is just figure out how to get it operated. So we've been very lucky that he's actually, Lord Frites has given us this product for our team to practice and get to know. And all of us have been we've been in a couple of meetings with Lord Frites as he demonstrates it. And then our heads were spinning, so then we had to figure out what exactly did he just show us. And so then we had to break it down and figure it out and get to know this product well. And now a few of us are just doing missions, we're having so much fun with it. Jeff, you were mentioning in chat about, is it SI compatible, or does SI allow it, or what? Absolutely. We've been using Say Intentions, making all our proper calls as we leave and enter airports. And that goes towards our normal Say Intentions flights, whether they're VFR or IFR. I just did Vectors to Final recently, one of my test flights the other day, and got my Vectors to Final badge from Say Intentions on an IFR flight using this. So, and I see in the distance there, Andrew's already taken off, and he's doing some practice work. Look at him. He says, I'm not waiting around for the queue, Howard. I'm just going to go.
He's burning some unlimited fuel. Come on.
And so let's go take a look at this product, you guys. We're going to take us to, I'm not going to go to the classroom. I'm just going to do it right from here because we're still both visible. I'd like you to jump in anytime, Stefan, and just talk about anything at all that I've been, hinting on, or something I've touched on in here. We've done a lot of research, but certainly you as the developer know the product deeper than we do. Let's see if we've got all the points in a row here. So let's go take a look at this. So it's called the Quasar. If you haven't noticed, you guys, with all the titles that are around, this was a top secret project. We called it the TSP, top secret project, for the last 3 weeks. And we promised Lord Frites that we'd keep it under wraps. We won't leak it out. And it worked. It was actually really good. That the whole team kept quiet about it, and we even turned off multiplayer when we were testing it. So we had a lot of fun with the fact that it was a top secret project. Even that was fun, So it was pretty cool. So I do want to remind everybody as we continue on here, as always on Tuesdays when I teach these lessons, I'm not a CFI, but I do belong to the Society of Aviation and Flight Educators, and we are spreading the word on the skills and the techniques and the things that we've learned as pilots ourselves. We're helping others in simulators that we have at home, because we don't have the luxury of those real lessons and the expense of those real lessons. And so hopefully this is what I'm doing and our team is doing here as we do these kind of lessons. So let's go take a look at this baby. You'll see a few shots like this, but I'll tell you, as soon as I looked at the FlightSim.to official website look of it, it was like, wow, look at all those shots. So I just want to show you those, you guys, just so you can see what I'm talking about here. This is where the product is on FlightSim.to. I'll send you that link. And let me just put that in here like this. And when you take a look at the pictures that are here, you guys can browse it yourself. But every one of these, I mean, I thought we did some great captures. And we're going to include some of those in the presentation now. And we also have some that we already made for the credits at the end. Okay, so you right to the end, you guys, you'll see the credits will also show some pictures that we took in all our testing. And then I come here to the live product page now, and I say, wow, those are better than the ones we took. So you notice in here, we didn't even try all the liveries. I mean, I didn't try all the liveries, but you look at some of these color schemes, wow, you know. So we're going to learn all about it. We're going to learn all about everything inside it. But look at this. Look, this is like I should have used this like for a poster. Look at this thing. It's so classic to see, you know, that kind of picture and the spacecraft over here in the darkness, right?
The picture of the quasar above the Earth is really beautiful. It's not from me, it's from one of my beta testers, and he just wanted to see how far it could fly, and he didn't really found a limit.
Didn't find a limit in 2024, right?
In 2024, yeah.
So this product is available, you guys, and it works in 2020 and in 2024. But 2020 has some limits, and we'll talk about that. You know, one of them is the actual altitude limits. But as he said, they couldn't find a limit. I think you got to something like 5 million miles or some foolish number.
10 million feet, and we stopped
10 million
counting,
feet.
But you can go higher.
We stopped because, you know, how many more days do we need? It's like, wow. So you might be wondering, everybody in chat, you might be saying, so what fuels it and how can it go so far? Well, we're going to talk about that in great detail, and you'll get to see that as we go along. But you've captured some great images here, especially when you have more than one livery side by side. So we've got that happening too, you guys. We're going to have a few of us on the field, as you saw, and we'll just see what the different liveries are as we go along. Anyway, we'll get into the lesson now, but you guys can scroll through here and see all of these gorgeous pictures that they have. And, you know, it really does capture the essence of this aircraft. Now I'm going to call it an aircraft, although many will start calling it a spacecraft, all right, because of the fact that in 2024 we seem to have no limit of how far we can go. But what we've been using it for, and what we've been probably what it's mainly designed for, is simply fast travel around the world. All right, so you know the legendary Paris to New York. You know we take a look at that sort of. How many hours and minutes and, you know, that kind of bar that we use to measure these things. We're going to talk about how fast this thing can go, and we'll talk about the thrust on each of those engines and the afterburner and how much fuel it burns when we do that. So that's what we're going to get into right now, you guys. So 4.9 out of 5, that's pretty good. I don't know why it's not 5.0, but we're a little partial because we've been cozying up with this product and getting to know it. So let's go take a look at this in greater detail, you guys. Stefan, anything you want to say before I jump into some of these things I'm going to do?
Yeah, the guy who put a 4-star, I just read his comment, and it's a very good comment. So it's okay. If it's for him, it's a 4. The comment in itself worth a 5, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, and I've also noticed in all the years I've been teaching IT, we get evaluated every week, and it's always out of 5. And you'll get some that will never go above a 4. They say, oh no, there's nobody in the world that's perfect. We're all humans, so I never give more than a 4. But it was excellent. I say, well, excellent actually means 5, right? So, you know, there are some people who will never give more than 4 out of 5. So that's it. That's the way it works. Yeah, we just got to live with it. But, you know, we'll take it, right? It's a pass. So what's this view right here, everybody? What do you call this view? Anybody know? I mean, our team knows. This is actually the front of the aircraft with the covers on. What? What is that? I mean, it's got to be the most unique aircraft ever. So, and else you know, in your manual, Stefan, in your manual, it actually talks about we've moved to 2024. A lot of us have. Certainly this channel has. And we miss some of the products that have disappeared, that we don't have anymore. The Pelican. You guys remember the Pelican? And also the Dark Star, right? Now, the Dark Star had its limitations, and it was very... I think a lot of people found the limitations right away. It was like very simple. The visibility was very limited, and like that was our taste of speed. And we'd see that show up sometimes in our group flies on Saturday. We'd see the Dark Star show up. There it is. Whew, there it goes. And that's how it worked. And so now we've sort of, with this product, you guys, we're filling the void of that high speed fun, and yet we've got the visibility now, and we've got something that, we can actually put out the landing gear and land properly. And it's like try to get this beast on the ground and get it stopped without hurting ourselves. It's quite a task. So at this point, I want to introduce and just say hello, you guys, because we got the whole team standing by on live microphones. First, I'm going to say hi. Speaking of coming in fast and putting it on the ground gently, I want to say hi to Mike first. You there, Mike?
I'm here. Hello, everybody.
Did you see the reference there? Putting it down gently and coming to a stop, right? We've had so much fun with this, you guys. Wait till we tell you some of the stories. And I don't know if the team wants to talk about some of their experiences, but I hope they do as we go to their demos, all right? So each of our co-hosts today will talk about their experience when they're doing their demos, all right? So I'm also going to say hi to Ace. You there, Ace?
Hello, everybody.
There's the voice. There's the man. There he is. And he's going to be doing some demos too. Everybody who's here today will be doing some demos, you guys, on specific areas. I also want to say hello to my co-host, Andrew. How's it going?
Good evening, everybody. Doing well.
You are up in the air. I see Charlie's on the ground. I see Mike's still got a cover on his plane, but you are actually in the air flying. Wow. And what are you thinking so far, Andrew? Any thoughts?
It's interesting. I don't know how much time I would spend with it on my own, but it is kind of an interesting little aircraft.
Interesting you say that.
Don't mind as I do 1,300 knots coming over the field.
He really is. We haven't got a visual on that, but yeah. Let's see if I can get that in there just so you can see what that looks like. If I can pull that in, maybe. I doubt it. There. Let's pull that in. There we go. So what'd you say you were doing? How many knots over the field?
1,380 as I went over the crowd.
There's your first taste of it in flight, you guys, and seeing Andrew buzzing the tower. And I mean, it was probably 10 miles ago now. It was like 30 seconds and 10 miles ago.
Yeah, it takes a while to turn back around. So
it does, and you pretty much have to slow down to do that. Yeah. But maybe it'll grow on you, Andrew, like it's grown on the rest of us, and we just can't get enough of this plane. All right, so, and then I just want to mention that we'll just come over here and just see what Charlie's up to. And right there, Charlie's on the tarmac, ready to go. Looks like he's got everything powered up. And each of them will do some demos of something, you guys, and we'll see as we go along. Let me just go over to Ace's machine. There he is on the taxiway. And note, in each of these, I mean, Ace is going out first because he's going to be doing a high altitude, high speed pass. So he's heading out now so he can get out to the area and get up there so we can get going with him. And then once they get to the areas they're going to be, you guys, then we're going to have them circle and just burn some fuel. And we'll talk about how you can burn fuel and still not fall out of the sky. That's going to be an interesting thing, isn't it?
High-speed pass of Earth, maybe. I won't be anywhere near this place in a few minutes here.
We're going to need binoculars just to see him. Oh, see that dot going by up there? There he goes. So it's a good thing we got a camera on him, that's for sure. All right. So I just wanted to show that before we went over to the lesson, you guys. We'll get back here to the lesson. I will say that that Quasar link, I'm just going to go there right now to make sure it's live. I think it's the last thing that I didn't do. It was because it was top secret. I did not have it activated on my Ko-Fi site. For those of you who want this presentation tonight, I'm just going to activate it right now while we're talking. Over here. This one right here. Yep, that's it. All right, I'm going to make that live. And that's why it didn't go live, because I didn't have the PDF in there. There we go. All right, now it's going to be live. And that link now works, you guys. All right. So that was the last thing I had to do once I put this overlay in and got everything all set up. So, and hello in chat, you guys. I won't be able to read everything. Maybe Andrew can interrupt me now and then and say, by the way, pay attention in chat. There's so much going on, you guys. I want to get into the lesson. I want to have us time to have all the demos, right? So we're going to get into that. But thanks, you guys. And I see some people in there are also have been working with it too. So that's cool. Active galactic nucleus. Okay, so I was just trying to read what you're saying there, Jeff. Maybe that's going to be the ICAO code. I just put in auto in say intentions, you guys. You have an option to say auto for the ICAO code, and then when I'm calling the tower, I just say, in my case, I say Quasar 1. And each of you had a parking spot, so maybe you could use the identifier of Quasar 2, Quasar 3, Quasar 4. I think we have 7 parking spots we were using, if you want to use say intentions during our demo. Okay, so just think about what parking spot you started in, you guys. All right, let's get into this, you guys. And you can certainly find this link later in the presentation if you want to pick up this presentation. And I think Srap's already put the link in for the product itself. There we go. So we're all good. We're all set to go. So let's just get to know this airplane, and there's so much to understand in it. I mean, what powers it? What kind of fuel does it use? How does it power itself? And what kind of thrust on these engines? All of that stuff. We want to go fast, we want to fly high, and we want to have fun with it, even though it's a seriously developed project. Now, I think what you're seeing on the screen right now, you guys, I think I pulled right out of his manual. I just said, you know what, I can't say it any better to intro the product. I'm going to pull it right out of his manual, put it on my screen. So I think that's what happened. I might have done a little bit of tweaking on that, but so it says with custom pilots, and I could have done a whole, if you go to the website that Srap just gave you, you can see a list of all of the features. It just goes, it scrolls. I mean, the features. But I'm just going to say it here as sort of a Reader's Digest version here. So custom pilots, and we're going to be able to select different pilots in there. We're going to see that. An onboard computer that talks a lot, which is very entertaining and helps you on those long trips. Cutting edge technologies to drive it, based on real technologies, you guys, and it's not a fictitious thing, right? And then it says right here we have a winner here that's fun to learn about and even more fun to fly, and those are my words for sure, right? Allison just dropped in with her friends. Allison, how you doing? How you doing, everybody? Thanks, Raiders, for coming in. Welcome. We're looking at the Quasar. This was a top secret project right up until yesterday when it was finally released, and you can get it on the flightsim.to, and you can see it's also on the Flying Fries website. So thanks, Srap, for those links, and welcome, Raiders. I'm glad you're here. And Allison, how you doing, girl? It's good to see you. I know you may not be able to stay, just like when I raid your channel, we don't always stay with each other, but we're still with each other in our hearts, so that's cool. Thanks for being here and bringing your friends. All right, so let's go take a look. Learn more about this hydrogen nuclear high-tech flying marvel. Those are my words, all right, not from the manual. Let's learn more about this hydrogen nuclear high-tech flying marvel. Okay, I think I summarized it right there. Now you know what powers it, right? Cruise speed, 5,000 knots, it says on the page right in the sim. What? 5,000 knots? Maximum altitude. Now, it's interesting. It's set at 130,000 feet. So, Stefan, do you want to mention something about that?
Yeah, because you have to set a maximum altitude. And you can't really set a cruise or the best altitude. So basically what I put there is the kind of a best cruising altitude where you still have some air to grab from the outside to generate your fuel, as we will talk later. So yeah, of course you can fly higher, even in Flight Sim 2020, because the roof, the invisible ceiling in Flight Sim 2020 is at 275,000 feet, so it's much higher. But the most efficient way where you get your 5,000 knots ground speed actually is at around 120 or 130,000 feet.
Okay, because we're going to find that those limits, there's a real limit certainly in 2020. I think it's 275,000 feet. I remember the number. And then there's the unlimited altitude in 2024, right? And the range is unlimited too in 2024, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'll let the secret out, you guys. The fuel is unlimited also if you fly it properly. Oh, so now we got to go check out what that means, all right? We got to fly it properly, and then we're going to see how that works with the fuel, right? Absolutely, right? So let's, Ace is giving us an air show. Yeah, Charlie, he's warming up, he's practicing, and when we go to his demo, we're going to be able to see what he's got in store for us, but he's probably going higher and higher while we're talking right now. That's the whole idea. He's going to show us altitude. He's going to be doing the fast and the high demo. Okay, so that's what's happening there. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, he just did a couple of rolls over the field.
Did he? I missed it. Yeah. So I do want to mention, someone just said that Howard has to drink fuel. I got to do it, you guys, because I got to do it. So as we always do on our sessions here on Twitch, and very unique to our channel, Howard has to take his fuel tester and look for sediment and then say, "Fuel is my fuel."
You're not using a nuclear rod this time?
I should. It should glow in the dark, Mike. It's like Krabby one wants to know, Stefan, if it has a glove box.
It doesn't really have a glove box, but
it doesn't
has
really,
so many hidden things that yeah.
But it has some other things, right?
Yeah,
some
exactly.
other things, right? Yeah. And by the way, I actually brought it from Canada. I brought the Flying Fries hat. Isn't that wild? I surprised myself. I thought, I left it behind, and I'm looking around. There it is. So, yeah, I thought I had to wear it tonight, so there we go.
It's perfect.
Perfect, yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's go take a look some more here. The engines themselves. So, hydrogen-fueled jet engines times 4. Hydrogen-fueled. Now, hydrogen is a very real technology, you guys. It is happening, Let me think about the latest car I was just reading about. It could even be Toyota. Anyway, in cars today, if cars are going to be hydrogen fueled, they don't produce their own hydrogen. They just consume it. That's the difference. Here, with this aircraft, it produces it and consumes it. And this is how we can have unlimited flight. All right, so let's give you that idea right now. It's hydrogen fueled, but it actually produces its own hydrogen. That's a big process. We're going to talk about that. Now, cars today that are hydrogen fueled, they have to go to a hydrogen fueling pump, just like a gas pump. And they got to pump in the liquid hydrogen into their cars. It takes about the same amount of time, and it's a bit cheaper right now. And so there's I remember Burnaby, BC, where they were demoing the Toyota. I think it's a Toyota, you guys, recently. And there were 3 hydrogen fueling stations within 300 miles or something. So some ridiculous number, right? So that's something that isn't very feasible yet, because you can't just pull into a gas pump and get some hydrogen, right? So it's very expensive actually to make it. So anyway, we're going to talk more about that and how does this aircraft do it. All right. So each of these engines that you see on the back, there's 4 of them, 207,000 pounds of thrust each. Wow. But that's not even with the afterburners on, Well, the Hyundai does it too. Okay. That's great to hear. Yeah. That's great to hear. And Free Spirit Angels, it doesn't say first time chat, so you must have been here before. So thanks for coming over with Ali, and thanks for your comment. That's really cool, right? Maximum thrust. Okay, so with afterburners each, it jumps up and almost doubles there, or it does more than double there. 570,000 pounds of thrust with afterburners on, but it drinks fuel like this. Your 3,500 gallons of hydrogen will burn in less than a minute. What? That's gallons in a minute. You guys are used to seeing gallons per mile? No, miles per gallon? Yeah, that's what it is. What is it here in the USA? Miles per gallon, right? Yeah. Miles per gallon, yeah. We used to do that too. All right, so yeah, this is gallons per, minute. Yeah, wow. Mamma mia. All right, so let's just talk about in the sim, you guys, make sure that you have all 4 throttle axes working. The normal aileron and elevator axis as you see it here. And then you'll need all 4 engines because you're going to start them up. And matter of fact, during taxi and during landing, you'll only be using engine 1 and 4. And you'd actually shut down engine 2 and 3. All right, so you could still do that. I mean, if you have limited levers, you could still do that where you have 2 engines per lever. but you would reach over and just do the fuel cutoff, I guess. You know, like you can make it work. It's just so much handier to have 4 levers to be able to do each of the engines as you need them, right? And so that's for sure. And we have fun all the way. Yeah, use your throttles and afterburner wisely. Yeah, that's good advice.
And it's an advice from Frankenstein, who is the guy who made this brake fly. So he's the genius behind the flight model of
No
the Quasar.
kidding.
And all the previous
Wow.
aircraft
We
as
should have
well.
had a window for him. He should have been on tonight with us. Yeah.
It's true, yeah, but he was driving trucks with Murphy, so he can't do everything at once.
It's hard to fly one of these and drive a truck and be grounded, right?
Exactly.
All right, so stick goes in the right hand. It's over here on this console, and controls in the left, very much like in a fighter jet. You guys, it's a single person, single occupant aircraft, like you see with many military airplanes, all right? So now, it still says top secret but from before we change it to the word Quasar, so that's cool. We're going to do some demos in a minute, you guys, but let's just talk about the startup. I want to go quicker through this because we don't have to dwell on this. Everybody who's been on this channel on a Tuesday know that we go through the 7 steps when we're learning a new airplane. And that is just like in real life, you guys. That's where I got this idea from when I learned a new airplane in real life as a real pilot. We have to get the pilot's operating handbook and study it inside out. We have to go for a check ride and show the instructor that we know what we're doing with this plane before they actually certify our book and make us certified on type, is what we say. All right. Now, obviously, this is the sim world, and we don't have to be so formal about it. But that same procedure, the 7 steps I'm going to talk about here, are exactly the same 7 steps we do in real life. So let's talk about that. All right. So first of all, get the POH. Well, you don't really need one. Matter of fact, there isn't a real one out there. This is not a plane that you can go to the local flying school and say, can I buy a POH from you? No, I've never heard of this thing. So there it is in your product folder. It says manual PDF. You can see there on the left. At the very least, you should read this all the way through. All of us who are demoing today had to study this to be able to figure it out and ask each other questions and meet again with Stefan just so he can help us with the parts that we're stumbling over. And help fine-tune it. And some of those meetings were, again, very late at night after you were very busy. So I really appreciate the time you've devoted to helping us out. And hope we do you justice for that. So you've gone to great lengths to provide us with this comprehensive manual. It's really well done, you guys. And that's all you need. Everything's in there that you'll need to know. And apart from that, we're going to take a look at the tablet that's inside this product, too. Because in there, you'll see a lot more information that's going to be useful. I always say you study the manual before, during, and after you've flown it. And you'll always find some more tidbits and, oh yeah, that, and now that's how that works. All right, and the light bulb comes on. So let's go through a couple of things real quick here. First of all, the important V-speeds. You should have a generalization in your head, or at least this nearby. Now, the idea of having this nearby is pretty simple. Stefan has put this right into the plane. In the tablet, there's one tab that's just for speeds. That is awesome because, you know, we try to bring this kind of table out to another screen so that we can remember, oh yeah, I've got to be at this speed when I'm coming into land. And this is awesome that you've done this right in the tablet. And we're going to go live and take a look at that tablet in a minute, you guys. All right. Oz says, is there a left-hand drive version of this? So Free Spirit says, kind of reminds me of the FA-37 Talon from the movie. I don't know. It rings a bell. Isn't that from? Is that from Top Gun? Wasn't the enemy? You know, the simulated enemy. Weren't they in Talons? Maybe. Am I right? Andrew would probably know an answer to that. So maximum speeds at altitude in Mach. Take a look, you guys. Here we go. Now, it says maximum speeds in Mach, but I think this plane can go to Mach 7.9. Am I right?
Yeah, 7.8.
7.8.
But not at 5,000 feet. You know, the air is so dense that you have to limit yourself to slower speed with different altitude levels. So, yeah, it's just if you're flying at around 20,000 feet, you know that you won't be flying hyperspeed Otherwise, it will shake in all directions, and you will be like, what's going on?
That has happened.
Flying too fast. Yeah.
Did that happen in the trailer? Was that what was happening in the trailer? It was spinning out of control. I thought, that was like my first flight. Yeah.
It was on purpose, but yes.
Right, Charlie? Was that your first flight?
Yeah, I've experienced it.
7.8. I think it's actually the sim saying that it's the maximum. It doesn't slow down at that barrier. Oh, okay. See, this is good to know, you guys. So, so we're going fast. We're going real fast. Can anyone define in chat? Because this is a lesson night, I got to ask a question, right? Anybody define in chat the speed of 1 Mach or 1 Mach? I'm not sure. Some of you say Mach, some of you say Mach, right?
Mach.
Tomatoes, right? Reminds me a bit of the lander in Interstellar. Okay. So we'll see if somebody comes up with that. Runway lengths. So you're going to need a lot of runway. Look at this, you guys. Absolute minimum 3,600, and that's if you use a special feature that we're going to talk about.
No, that's for the takeoff.
Sorry, that's for takeoff. The landing. Oh, here's the landing with a special feature called FACT. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. Yeah. So landing this thing, all of us have experienced the fact that we eat up a lot of runway, no matter how slow you come in. And then those of us who tried to go even slower, we probably stalled and fell out of the sky before the runway. So we have tested the limits. Even some of those limits were by accident. Right, Mike? I shouldn't single Mike out, because all of us, including me, have had troubles. Like, I just fell short of the runway. I guess I was too slow. This thing can slow down. You put out the speed brakes and you're going slow with idle throttles and only 2 engines. Yeah, you can drop out of the sky. So yeah, it's happened, right? So
it took me probably half a dozen flights before I had an actual landing, not a good landing, but a landing on Earth. And in fact, one time putting my landing gear down, the computer told me, well, here we go again. It's like, geez, give me a break here.
Mike, that is awesome. Yeah. So did you hear that, Stefan?
It's beautiful.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Mike, your computer must be related to Janet from SI.
It's got to be her sister, exactly.
Yeah, it's Janet's sister from SI. So, here we go again. Now, I was lucky enough. Just give me a second here. I'm just replenishing my fuel. I was lucky enough, you guys, that when I did my last landing, it said nicely done, and then it said the one after that, I put it down hard like a carrier landing, and she said, I'll book a maintenance appointment right away. So it's like you're going to hear stuff coming out of the computer inside this aircraft that are just going to make you laugh. And it's just there's part of the fun factor, you guys. So we're going to there's lots of reasons why it's a fun factor, but landing normal procedure, we're going to need 8,000 feet of runway. Oh, mamma mia! Yeah. All right. So checklist is next. There are checklists everywhere, and as a matter of fact, there's even a tip sheet that if you scan the QR code inside, or the barcode inside the where did I find it on
it's on the EFB, yeah, on the custom EFB.
Yeah, we're going to go see what it is, you guys, but you'll be able to go and download the PDF for a tip sheet, which is a condensed form of the checklist. But I also want to mention over here, the in-sim checklist is what we always use to find the switches and levers. This is such a nice feature in the sim, you guys. For all the planes that we fly, we have to figure out where everything is. We don't sit and look at all the diagrams in a POH. We actually go here and we click on the eyeball, and it actually highlights wherever we're going. All right. So this is a really useful tool to start learning it. And then as you get going, you can use the one that's in the manual. You can use the one that's in the side here. Even over here, there's a quick checklist etched straight into the panel over on the right. So it's everywhere. We can get at it easily, all right, to the checklist. And this is where Mike's going to be doing a demonstration for us. All right. So now let me just go to my first demonstration will be me just walking around the plane and getting in it. And then we're going to give it to Mike. All right. So I think, Mike, you're going to probably start from inside the plane, right? This will be our first demo. We're going to mix demos with the lesson, you guys, and try and mix it up so that you get some taste of the aircraft right away. All right, so let me just come out of here. And I just want to show you, this is how it starts in the sim, you guys. And you notice that the ladder is out. There's actually a cover over the canopy just to make sure it doesn't get too hot. You got to protect it from the elements. And you'll notice there are chocks and there are covers, and the engines on the back have covers also. So in a walk around like you saw me doing earlier, you would just simply walk around the plane And we'll go inside to actually take all the covers off. I don't know if that's part of what you're going to do, Mike, or if you want me to take the covers off first and then you continue. It looks like you're ready to do that, right?
Yeah, I'm so covered up and everything.
So the nice thing about this, you guys, and I'll just give you one quick part of it for me. Take a look to see the size of this thing. Take a look at a person walking under it. All right? Full clearance without crouching down. Now, certainly if you want to go through like the middle of the plane, you would have to crouch down first, and then you can actually get through the plane like this to get to the other side. And then you can come back up again from there. But it's actually pretty cool that, you know, that shows you how big it is when you can actually walk freely and all that headroom that's in it, right? So that's what you would do. You'd normally walk around and actually pull all these things off. But here's what we'll do. We'll go over to Mike's screen now, and he's going to show us how to do the this whole checklist to get going. Well, let me just come to... Sorry, Mike, I'm trying to say that while I'm trying to find your... There you are. Got you. Okay. All right, Mike, it's all yours.
All right, so I'm going to try and keep the delay in mind here so we don't get a little crazy there. But, yeah, so the EFB here. Get a little closer there for us here. So the EFB, this was the speeds here. This is a pop-out capable window. So a lot of times I'll just pop the speeds out and have another monitor, so I always have that reference in front of me. But yeah, if we go to the RBF tab, which is the remove before
Mike, if you don't mind me saying, how do you pop it out?
Yep. Oh, just like your normal way. Just hit the right Alt button on your keyboard. And whenever you do that, the little plus symbol magnifier will come up, and then just click on there, and it pops out.
Super. There's a lot of, you know, you and I are spoiled that we have hardware to pop out windows, but not everybody has done that, right? That's cool.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
So the third tab is RBF, so remove before flight. And then whenever we click on that one there, it will bring up this window here, and we can see all the items that are covered up in the different surfaces and such. So we can remove these on the Walkaround, or we can just do them right here in the EFB. So I'm going to start removing these, starting with the nose tip, and just work my way around the aircraft there. So we'll have there. And as I click on them, you can actually see them move away in here. And then the last one is the wheel chocks there.
And that tablet works without power on the aircraft. So you guys see he's still cold and dark with, just took all of the covers off now.
Yep. And now if I go to the outside view, I can see that everything has been removed over the aircraft, and it's good to go here. So hopping back into the cockpit here, we just press Control E and we're good to go. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
No, so the NSIM checklist is very good. It matches what's in the manual, and one of my favorite features is it has the little eyeball that you can use. So that way, if you're not familiar with something is at, you can go exactly where it's at and find it and such. So I'm just going to pop this out here real quick. So one of the first things that we'll have is checking all the circuit breakers, and they're located on the right-hand side of your panel. And we'll just kind of click up into here. And once we do that, the panel will open up, and then we can see all the circuit breakers. They do work. So if I begin clicking on the circuit breakers, you'll see them pop up. They'll be red, letting us know that that one has tripped. And then I can click on them to push them back in to reset them. So before you start, you want to make sure that all the breakers are closed. And then if we click on the top portion where we open the panel up, that will slide the panel and close it back to where it was. And then the next thing we're going to do is turn our batteries on. So at the top right of our panel, we'll have batteries 1 and 2. You actually hear the computer say something to you there. And then we're going to have turning our nav lights on. Excuse me. And then we do have the 3 nuclear links at the very top right. So if I come up here and start clicking on nuclear number 1, number 2, and then number 3, those are all closed. Then I can come down here right below it and click on and turn the avionics master on. So we can see right here that everything is starting to come up on all of our panels here. Our computer volume is right over here. I usually like to turn it up to hear the things that insults me, not insults, but it jokes and tells you find different things there. So it's always amusing. It's a good point of entertainment during your flight. So the next thing we'll have is on the far right of our panels, we'll have the, what's called the test and maintenance section. So before I click on these, I'm going to tell you what happens, and then we'll go look at it real quick so we can see the outside view. So we'll have the test FCS, the flight control surfaces, testing the thrust vectoring, and then testing the Mach surfaces. So I'm going to put all these into test mode, and then we're going to hop outside the aircraft real quick, and we'll actually see these happening. So we can see here on the nose, we can see all the surfaces moving right here. And they're all going through the whole test phase right here.
That's cool.
If you don't do this, the plane will still fly, but you'll have the yellow indicators the whole time during your flight.
Oh, even the nozzles on the engines move around too, right?
Correct. Yeah, the thrust vectoring back there. Yep. And then the next one we have is to test the OLED switches. So if I just come in and I flip this to the on state, then I can go look at all my switches in the cockpit. We got the sun shining now, but we can see that all of them are indicating test. So all my fuel valves are showing test. My hydrolyzers are showing test over here. My APU is showing test. And then if I come over to the right side here, I can see all these as well. So my anti-ice and all my lights, everything is saying test. So all these are functioning. They're all good. They're not missing pixels or anything. And then I can come here and then just turn the test off and everything. So once all that's done, we can actually start creating some fuel here. So I will come over here and turn on the hydrolyzers here. And then I'll also come over here to the left and begin turning all the fuel valves and pumps on. So left tank and right tank, and then the 4 of the tanks here. If I click on the fuel tab over here in the panel, we can see that everything is currently full right now. And then if I look here, I had full tanks. If it wasn't full, we'd actually see a positive rate here. So it might say like plus 250 gallons per minute or whatnot. So that'll be displayed here. And then the last thing we have is on the MFD here on the very far right at the bottom corner. We'll just click on this button here and turn that screen on. So now comes the fun part. We'll actually get these engines started up. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here. I'm going to turn on my beacon lights over here. And then on the far left is the section where my APU is at. So I will go ahead and turn on the APU. And then I will go ahead and start it up. When I click on start, you'll see the graph climbing. And once it gets all the way up to 100%, it will be running. There we go. So now it's at 100%. And then right next to it, I can click on and turn the bleed air on. And then this is the throttles here. So engine 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. And then same thing over here. We have engine 1 is right here, and it's worked its way across engine 2, engine 3, and then engine 4. Don't mind the soda pop cans in here. I haven't dumped my trash yet, so.
Actually, I think Mike, I think it's labeled 1 to 4 from the far end to the closer end.
Yeah, this is one right here, the far end.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think the pointer was slow to show you that, but okay, no
gotcha.
worries. No worries.
Yeah, the engines are 1 through 4, left to right.
Yep. So I'll click on the engine 1 starter here, and then we'll actually see it says starter right here. And then I'll come up and actually turn the number 1 fuel valve on. And if I come over to my engine page, we can see the fuel flow coming up, my oil pressure is coming up, as well as my temperature is coming up.
And your lever position, I like that. That's cool.
Yes.
Is that lever or lemur?
As we both chuckle, right, Mike? Because Howard had lever troubles, yeah. I was lever challenged at one point.
So I will repeat the same steps for engine number 4. So we'll turn the starter on, and then the fuel valve. And then we should see number 4's fuel flow is coming up, as well as oil pressure is starting to come up some. And now the temperature is coming up. So all that is good. We can go ahead and close our canopy.
Don't forget your AC.
And then I have my seat and ladder. And this will move the seat forward. And it pulls the ladder outside as well.
What were you saying, Andrew? Sorry, you were both talking.
Oh, I was just telling Mike, once his canopy's shut, don't forget to turn adjust your AC.
Yeah. So I have that over here. I like it cooler. All right, so now we will just go to our crew alerting page, and we should only see the items that we're aware of. So right now it's just telling us that there's no combustion, fuel, or oil pressure on engines 2 and 3, which is correct because it's off. And believe it or not, my parking brake is applied right now. So, so all of these are items that I expect, no problem at all.
A little nervous chuckle there, right? His parking brake is set. Some of you will understand what he's saying.
And then up here now we can see my positive rate being generated. So I'm generating 209 gallons right now.
And we'll talk more about that in the lesson, you guys. But he's showing. We'll let him go through the checklist and show you these things. But we'll get to know some of these things he's showing you in a little more detail.
Yep. So now we're on to the taxi portion of the checklist. So we'll have, if applicable, your anti-ice controls right here. And you'll set these accordingly.
Beautiful.
And then your cabin pressure, by default, is on auto, which is it. And then next is your climate control, which we just did a minute ago. And then, sorry about that. And then your auto aileron trim set to on. And then lastly, what here is if you choose to use your HUD, that switch is right here. So I can raise the HUD, and then I can also adjust the brightness for, daytime or nighttime or whatever. Makes me see it a little bit easier. So at this point here, I would be ready to taxi out. You want to keep it below 20 knots, which is not extremely tough, but it's a little difficult to do. So even with just the 2 engines running, which is engines 1 and 4, you will have to drag the brake a little bit, because if you just don't, it will just continue on and go across that mountain in front of me up there. So,
are you speaking from experience, Mike? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You notice the whole crew is starting to chuckle, right? We're all trying to be quiet for you, but that part we had to chuckle. Yeah.
I know some people who just use 1 engine for the taxi, and it works
exactly.
Also, but it's less fast. It's a very slow taxi then, but it also works. It's up to you.
Cool.
Exactly.
But definitely not 4. That's for me.
Yeah.
And some of us don't always stay under 20 knots.
Yeah. Real fast taxi. It's RF taxi. Yeah. Real fast.
40, 50 knots is a good taxi in here.
Yeah. We are on an Air Force base, so, they allow that. Yeah.
That's right.
Mag says, oh my God, it's slow too. If you want it to be, yeah. Half a one engine.
Yeah, but being slow is a lot more work than being fast.
It is. And it's idle on one engine, you guys, just a taxi. I mean, that's how
Yep.
you really got to work it.
So is someone showing the taxi portion? Because we got a long taxi from here to the runway.
Yeah, so by all means, you can start the taxi, Mike, and then we'll just do an outside view of you taxiing so we can see the thing in action. Sure. And then we'll just cut away to the lesson again, you guys. If you're following along and doing the same checklist, make sure your parking brake's on, because it can get away from you real easy, right?
Yeah. Like Srap has a comment. No comments on parking brake maneuvers?
That's
of
good.
course, yeah. And there he goes.
So instead of a nose wheel steering, you'll see the thrust vectoring right there, actually turning you right there.
Nice. And you
Yeah,
see
nose wheel steering's is on automatically.
Yeah, it is. I think it's doing both, right? But you know, it's interesting that the weight of the aircraft shifts too. Do you notice that? I mean, Stefan building that into the aircraft model is actually amazing, because when he turned a bit sharp there, you could see the whole thing tilt a little right on the ground, right? There's a lot of weight there, right?
There is a lot of weight, and that's the only thing that makes it. I mean, we had to tune some parameters, but most of the reaction is also due to the engine itself of the simulator, you know. So the weight and the fact that it bounces around, and this is also due to AceOfSpades great work, not only us.
Wow. So, Mike, can you show us a side view of her moving once you've got it on your center line there, and then we'll cut to the lesson. Look at that. So futuristic and so much fun, for sure. Mike, I want to thank you for that demo. It was really well done. Nice and calm, and you went through your checklist properly. It was really well done. So thanks for that.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent work. If we could just cut away at one point here before we go back to the lesson, and we want to just take a look and see where Ace is. Are you ready for us to have a quick peek? Ace, we're not ready for a full demo yet, but maybe a quick peek at what you're up to.
Sure, go for it.
And as I say that, I'm just trying to find your... There you are. There. All right, you see what Ace is going to be showing us, you guys? Take a look at where he is right now. A little different than Mike taxiing on the ground, isn't it? That's just a taste of what's coming, you guys. So we'll come back to him.
It's like, no wonder I can't find him.
You can't find him because
long gone.
Because even binoculars will not find him
right now.
Now, I do have a telescope here in Florida. I think I could probably use that. But we're gonna see what that's all about. Oh my gosh, what a view! What a view! There's a sneak peek, you guys, of where he's headed. So we're gonna be coming back to him in a minute. All right, so you guys, let's go back to the lesson here. We are actually out of KXTA, which is Homey Area 51, is the actual what you would say to the tower if you're using, say, Intentions or any of the others. KXTA.
Howard?
Yep.
A certain Lord Frites just gifted 10 subs.
Oops,
Holy moly. Holy moly. That's two of you that are being so generous. Like, holy smokes.
Yeah,
so who was the first one, Andrew, that did the sub? It was Manx, right?
It was Manx, yeah.
Yeah, Manx. Wow, Manx,
Yeah.
we're so generous. And then Lord Frites just jumped in there and gifted all these subs, you guys. Holy smokes on this channel. Look at that support. So amazing. So amazing. The support that he's given us on our channel is just amazing, you guys. All right, so let's go take a look. Without further ado, we want to make sure I don't take too long with the lesson, because the demos are really it, you guys. So let's talk a little bit about the realistic technologies. Now, all this information has to come from his manual, because this is stuff I can't reference anywhere else. But we will talk a bit about the whole idea about the liquid hydrogen and the nuclear reactor. I'm going to show you a page right out of the manual about electrolyzers. And it's funny that my grammar checker that I use when I'm writing articles didn't like that word. So it was funny that it's like, it doesn't like that word. Okay, ignore. It's in the manual. It's a word.
Oh yeah, electrolyzers. It told me the same. Like it's a mistake, and I was just checking many times. And no, I'm pretty sure it's not a mistake. Shut up, word.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You just click it and say ignore. It's a word. Exactly. You know. Add it to your dictionary. So liquid hydrogen, that's the aircraft's fuel. Now it's interesting, and even in the manual, we have an education from the manual, which I always like, and where Stefan has actually talked about since the Apollo missions we've been using liquid hydrogen. Now this is going to have to be kept in. Is it called a cryogenic state? I think it's what they use, or is it called cryogenic? I think it's called cryogenic.
Cryogenic.
So Charlie, you know a bit about that, being an engineer?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, cryogenic ship.
So is there anything you want to say about that? It just costs a lot of electricity to do that, right?
You got to keep it very cold. I can't remember the boiling point of hydrogen, but it's, probably
It's down there.
200 minus 200 degrees C or lower.
That's the boiling point. Oof. Okay, so, this is not a new thing. So what's interesting about this aircraft, of course, it was made up in the mind of Stefan and his beta team and how they formed this product. But the point is, it's actually using realistic technologies, which it was really cool. It actually grounds it. It actually makes it so it's not science fiction, right? It's not fantasy. And that's really cool. I like that part of it, right? So nuclear reactor, we know this because we've had them in subs for years and now in aviation, right? At least in this product in aviation. We're actually putting a nuclear reactor up in the air. Yeah. I think
pretty sure the U.S. Air Force did experiment with that.
They did,
I've seen a video of a nuclear engine, a nuclear plane at some point.
Is there evidence of that? Yeah, a nuclear plane.
There is.
It's easy to, they probably abandoned it, Stefan, because, it couldn't be stealth at night because it glowed in the dark, right?
I'm sure it was not a good idea for many reasons. I said, no, let's stop that.
So it's interesting, right? They can produce decarbonized electricity for years, so it's interesting. So infinite range, zero CO2 emission. So, maybe cars can do that someday, who knows, right? So anyway, this idea of electrolyzers, and we'll have another page right out of his manual, right out of the website to talk about this, right? So they require a lot of electrical power to harvest one type of molecule and extract its subcomponents. In the Quasar, this device captures air, this electrolyzers. We've got 2 of them, all right? And they're going to feed our fuel tanks, right? So it captures air, keeps the moisture from it. That's where the H2O comes from, you guys. H2O, right? Hydrogen's one of them, oxygen's the other. A lot of you know this, right? And splits it into oxygen and hydrogen. So, and it's interesting, it throws away the oxygen. Wait a minute, can we use that in the cabin? So so this is the web page. Right in, he probably does, right?
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. So this is the web page that and I put the reference at the top to make sure I got the right credit here. This is right out of the manual given to us, from the Quasar. And it's got a diagram in there and what it looks like. And you can click on these things and learn more as you go along, right? How does a hydrogen module work, right? And so this is cool that it's based on real technology, you guys. It's pretty neat. And it's all contained inside the aircraft, which is pretty amazing. And also the nuclear part of it. Now there's the remember we said it takes large amounts of electricity to make this process happen. Well, we've got a nuclear electricity producer inside the plane. For that reason, and Mike, I think I put your picture in the credits, but I didn't put it in the presentation, which I meant to do. For that reason, the seat actually has a warning on it that there is a shield on the seat. On the back of the seat, there's a warning, and maybe we can go and look at that in a minute. And it actually has a warning that says there's a shield here to shield you from that nuclear device that's behind you. And there is actually a button that can lower it below the aircraft, and you can take a look at the status of it, and I'll show you a picture of that. And so, this is actually pretty cool. That it's fascinating that, it's almost like, this is actually possible. Maybe you can have, the U.S. Air Force looking at this going, this is possible. We should make a Quasar, right? So anyway, this is what it looks like when you lower this unit below the aircraft. It comes down, in the belly of the aircraft and shows you the nuclear power. Go ahead.
I've got that seat pulled up for you if you wanted to show it.
Super, Mike. And let's go over here to Mike. Look at that. Seat shielded with lead. Wow, in an aircraft, lead. Wow. To block any radiation coming from Quasar's embedded nuclear power plant. If that doesn't scare you, without that seat, you could melt. And again, you would glow in the dark. Yeah, so it's like we're messing around with some serious stuff here, you guys. But it all works. So here it is, fuel rod lifespan, approximately 5 years, and all of these things look good. Now, this is something that you can make, when you hit a switch, it'll come down from the belly of the aircraft, and you can observe its screen, and then up it goes again back inside before you take off, right? It's pretty cool. And you notice here is the nuclear plant electrical bus 1, 2, and 3, and it's all explained in the manual, which we won't do tonight. You guys can go and look at the manual when you buy the airplane. But and it's got an excellent electrical diagram of the different buses and what comes off of each bus, etc. It's so cool, right? So why not an aircraft, right? And I think in the manual, Stefan, you mentioned about maybe because we don't want nuclear things flying over our head. I think that's where I read it, right? Or it could have been a comment from AceOfSpades, right?
Hydrogen all around, it's a bad mix usually.
Especially over crowds, right?
Yeah.
It's like, there it goes. And I don't think they can make it too stealthy, right? So now the fuel generation displays, which Mike already showed us quickly there and gave us an idea of what we're talking about here. Let me show you the first one here, though. And this is the same display, and it's just changed with this dial here. It's a button that normally to the left, and
Howard,
then in the middle,
you're still on my screen.
and then to the right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, thanks for that, Mike. I didn't see it. I only see my screen from my sim or from my presentation. Sorry. All right, so let me just see. Let me just come to the previous screen for a second. There. Did I show this, or were we still on your screen, Mike?
No, it's all right when
I know you didn't show that.
Okay, so this is what drops down from the belly of the airplane, you guys, and this is how you see the status of the nuclear power unit. And there's the 3 buses, and I mentioned you can see this, the electrical diagram in the manual. So sorry, you guys, I couldn't see the what's going out to the stream. So I'll try to pay attention to that some more. So now this is what I was starting to talk about here. This is on the dashboard, and you can see it. I left this view in there so you can see where it is. You can still see outside the aircraft, but this is right there on the glare shield. And you notice that in this position here, it's showing you, in this case, in this example, I'm on the ground, no engines running, so all 4 are red. And it shows a red over here also, but I've got all my fuel has already been generated. All right, it's all full, all my tanks are full, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then in here, in this second one here, I'm showing that here I'm burning it faster than I can produce it. So here it's producing fuel while I'm flying, but I'm pushing it too hard, and I'm actually burning it faster than I can produce it. At this rate, at some point, I'll run out of fuel, right? But we can adjust our throttles, and we can adjust our flight and our altitude so that we can end up flying in the green and fly there forever. That's the awesome thing about this aircraft. So it takes some thought, it takes a diagram, and it takes us trying to figure it out. And, you know, I mentioned in here, this is good on your 200-mile final to reduce fuel weight. 200-mile final, you guys, which is a big shock. We were in a meeting with Stefan, and he said, I'm going to do a 200-mile final here. What? So, yeah. Can you imagine telling the tower, I'm on long final. Oh, we don't see you yet. Well, I'm still 200 miles out, but yeah, I'm on a long final.
I said long.
I said it was long. I was like,
We're still at flight level 1000.
yeah. So it's like, okay. So here's what it looks like on the display. You saw Mike was here, you guys. He was showing fuel. He was showing engine. And he was showing your alerting system. So, you know, this is a really handy display here on the far left of your dashboard. And you can see in here that we've got fuel starting to fill up in the left and the right tank. This is the tanks that the I keep calling them equalizers. These are the tanks that the electrolyzers, did I get that right? It's a word that is not in the dictionary, so it's electrolyzers, right? They are producing hydrogen and filling these tanks. These tanks will fill the center tank. The center tanks will fill the engine tanks. Now, down here, we see that this is a real handy table right in the manual that helps fuel production depends on speed and altitude. Here is the efficiency matrix. You want to be 100% efficient. Wow. And most of my missions that I've done have been 10,000 feet and below, and many of them were at 8,000 feet. So I was actually landing with full fuel, and no wonder I hit the deck hard. And the onboard computer told me that they would book a maintenance schedule, a maintenance appointment for my plane because I hit it hard. So, you know, I still have to fine tune this. I still have to figure out how to get rid of fuel before I land. And I'm sure Stefan can tell us the secret to that, but we'll see how it goes. So in fuel management, as you saw on that screen, you guys, over on the left panel, of the aircraft, inside the aircraft, you can see I've clicked all of these valves and pumps, and now the line going straight through can, you've seen this in other planes, right? You can see that now that gives me full fuel to all the engines and full fuel to the APU. All right. And that's really a really nice, really good screen to visualize what's going on. Here's the electrolyzers. They're on. If those aren't on, they're not going to make any fuel at all. Right. And so that's part of the checklist you saw Mike do. He turned on the pumps and the valves, and he also in the checklist had him turn on 1 and 2 of the electrolyzers. Really awesome. One question that I had, Stefan, that I noticed after we had our second meeting where you spent all the time to help us out, if you had an electrolyzer malfunction, I don't see a crossover switch of some sort where you can use one electrolyzer to feed the tanks. Is that something planned, or is that just not a possibility?
So no, there's no crossover between left and right tanks, but between the 4 engine tanks, the level is always constantly stable. So at the end of the aircraft, it will be okay.
So your tanks 1 and 2 always feed tank 3, which is your main tank. So either one electrolyzer will feed the main tank.
So that's good. Okay, so that answers the question. There's just no crossover switch needed. They're both feeding this tank. If one of them weren't working, then the tank would still be getting full from the other.
Yeah,
okay.
like cool. Electrolyzer 1 feeds left, electrolyzer 2 feeds right, but left and right both feed main.
That's amazing.
Which then feed the individual engine tanks. So,
in fact, sometimes I turn one electrolyzer off to get half the production rate, so I better balance, slower reducing amount of fuel I have when I'm starting to come in to descend.
Right on. Yep. So, it's interesting how this fuel management works, and it's so cool that we can set it so that it just has unlimited fuel, which I think Ace needs right now at whatever altitude he's at. You okay out there, Ace? No answer. See, he's so far away, radio communication has been cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Between me and you.
He came back from the other side of the moon.
He may be on the other side of the Earth right now.
I think he is, So
I'm about mid-Atlantic.
Let's just tune in and see what Ace is doing here. And let me see what, is it even possible to see what his altitude is on the screen? Yeah, you've got your,
it is.
Look at that view.
I'm holding kind of steady right now at just under 500,000 feet.
Do you hear that, you guys? How casual he says that too? It's like, tower, I'm just under 500,000 feet. What? What are you flying, man? So that view from outside, the view from inside too. No matter what view you look at, Ace, they're gorgeous views. Look at that.
And you can only fly it manually under those conditions because autopilot doesn't work.
Well, but you are closer to satellites. You are closer to the GPS satellites. Very close. You might even have to watch out for them, right? And Ace, while we're looking at your screen, I want to thank you for your subs. Look at this. Look at all the gift subs, you guys. Holy smokes, what's going on the channel? Wow. Is that cool or what? Now that is just amazing, right? And Srap is saying, Lord Frites, that's awesome. Thanks for your support. And the aircraft is awesome. Best of luck with it. And I agree, you guys. Best of luck with it, too.
Yeah, thank you.
And you got people thanking you for your gift subs, too. And Ace, you'll get more thanking you for yours also, right? And Sorely Dev, thanks for your explanation of the electrolyzer. It produces green or low carbon hydrogen. So Ace, that's great. We're tuning in to see how you're doing. And you mentioned 500,000. What kind of speed are you talking about right now?
Oh, I'm running Mach 7.8.
He's at the max. Ooh, 7.8. So are you feeling it? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're in the sim, right? Yeah, okay.
If you look at this display just under the HUD, you can see that it is still producing fuel, so it's not burning it as much fuel as it's generating. So right now it can have infinite range.
So what are your engines set at, Ace? Can you go to the 13%.
So now his left display, he can go to the engine page, you guys, and it actually shows the lever position too of each of the levers of your throttle. And that's down there in the lower part of his display. And then the fuel management line that you saw in my presentation is he can actually flip that switch to the right, and he can see the green versus red, on that button. And that's the button right to the left of that line in the middle. But it's actually really cool. Look how high up he is, and he's running with more fuel being produced than he is actually using. I mean, and he's flying along at the max speed at 7.8. You guys, he's so efficient. He could do this forever.
If you want to go higher rapidly, you can use your burners. You'll burn off your fuel. If you want to do it, I suppose, the right way, which would take a lot of time, you would level out, build the fuel back, then burn your way up to a higher level, level out, build the fuel back, burn your way up to a higher level. I'm going to put on unlimited fuel, and let's see how high we can get this thing when it comes time for my demonstration.
That's great, Ace. I'm glad we're tuning in to see how you're doing. He's doing fine. He's way up there. Now you see why he had to leave earlier from the field so he could get up there.
So what altitude did you say you were at?
I'm currently at 487,700.
It's about 90 miles up.
90 miles up. Ooh. Who knew?
That's nothing.
Who knew?
So Frankenstein made a good point in chat. As a Mach 1.7 and above, you're no longer talking about maneuverability, but you're talking about your trajectory. So I'm sure Howard and you guys have all discovered this. Once you're up there, you don't turn this thing. You really need to if you're doing a mission, you set your course basically lined up for where you're going before you get too fast and too high.
Yeah. Space is technically 62 miles.
Oh, 62. I thought, Oz said 100 miles.
100 kilometers, 62 miles above mean sea level. So that's Ace is in space now.
Now, here's the thing. Ace is so far up there, how would he even know how to descend and get back to our airport? There's the question, Ace. And I didn't even ask this question of you when you were ready to do this demo. Could you figure it out?
Parachute.
I could. The question is going to be, depending on at what point in the stream I get to that part, whether it'd be faster to just go around the rest of the planet or turn around and come back.
Right. I mean, it's so true, right? I mean, when you have options now, right?
I wonder, is he far enough up so that he's in 0G? And if he is his G gauge on his heads up showing 0?
Interesting, wouldn't it be? Yeah, let's go.
The heads up is completely borked at this point. The G3000 is completely borked at this point. When you get above, what is it, about 50,000 feet, Stefan? All the air-based avionics just don't.
Yeah, the head goes a bit higher. You can rely the head up to almost 110 or 120,000 feet. It depends on, I don't know what, the latitude or something. But the G3000, it just gives up way before.
Yeah.
But I think it still shows accurate position, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. The position is correct. The position is correct. Your
yes.
Your attitude also is correct, so you can know if you're balanced or if you're 5 degrees up or down. So everything like that is correct. But the altitude and speed, except for the max speed, is a bit broken.
Well, you're building something that's testing extremes, so you're gonna find the limits of the sim, right? I mean, it's like
the in-sim avionics are based on air and air pressure and things, and we're not dealing with air anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Air left a while ago.
Yes,
air left the chat.
And Jeff, thanks for your note in there too, talking about the GPS system. It's good to know what those numbers are, right? 20,000 kilometers, and spacecraft have successfully used it, but can we? Yeah, limits of the sim. Frankenstein says we've gone way beyond that. So thanks, Ace. We'll tune in again in a minute. It's all it's going to take you guys is a minute. And let me say, you guys, when I've taken off with this thing from the runway and do the 15 degrees like Stefan taught us, right? And then I think about, okay, where's my magenta line and where am I heading for my mission? By the time I figure out all that, or even go into program my flight plan, even just start and finish on my flight plan, next thing you know, I'm sitting at like 15,000 feet or 20,000 feet. I mean, I'm talking about seconds before you realize it. Wow, where'd the Earth go? I mean, this thing just goes. then you really got to be careful with it, because it's gonna take you up quickly. So it's always try to get ahead of the plane. Try to do everything you can on the ground. Get your flight plan in there. Get your everything that you're figuring out. Okay, I'm going to do a left turn out as soon as I can because I got to go way back that way. And this is one of those planes that goes so fast that you really got to think ahead of the plane and try to do as much as you can, before all that happens, right?
And I will say, for someone who gets it today or whenever for the first time, make sure you go in your settings and make sure you don't have civilian pilot chosen. Choose the military one and turn on your G suit. Otherwise, you'll pass out on a climb out or whatnot.
Oh, where's that possible pilot?
That's good to know, Mike. Hasn't happened to me yet, right? So now I do want to talk about this, you guys. Again, I know you guys not everybody likes the boring part, the static part where I talk about the details. And some of you can't get enough of this. So, there is a balance there, and I'm trying to get that tonight. So we're on step 5 of 7, so we're almost there, and then we'll just do demo after demo, you guys. So I do want to mention to you that this is an important part of the aircraft also. The tablet is one big useful add-on. I mean, it's this thing. There's so much stuff in here, but we want to touch on a bit of it, and I'm going to go live and show you what that is. So I've mentioned here just the summary here. Pick our pilot, choose our music. Now, I can't play the music on Twitch. There's even a warning about that because it is copyrighted and will get dinged. But you can try it when you get the product, right? Set our cargo, and when we set our cargo, it picks our mission for us, and we can go take a look at that quickly. That'll be my demo. Reference our speeds, which I said is a beautiful feature because we don't have to pop something else out from the manual and keep it nearby on a nearby screen. It's right here in the tablet if we need to look at it. And then, as you saw Mike do, you guys, you can remove the tie downs, right? So before I go in and do the demo of the tablet, I just want to see how Andrew's doing. I think you're in the tablet, Andrew. So let's go see what you're after right now. I thought you were looking at the tablet a minute ago in the preview on my production screen. Yeah.
Just checking my screen. Checking my speeds.
So that's your speed. That's the speed tab that you're looking at there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then Ace, you're looking at the tablet also, and so is Mike. So let's go back to Ace for a second. Right here.
I was switching my pilot over to this robot, Johnny 6.
Oh,
everybody goes to Johnny 6.
I've selected you, Ace, but I don't see you. I see. Sorry, I see Andrew. There we go. Now back to Ace. There we go. All right, so go back again and show your. There he is. Look, you guys. I love this. I mean, I first saw Mike using it, right? And Johnny 6. Now, I don't know if you guys, how many in chat have heard of Johnny 5? Or I might even say the first movie of the Johnny 5 series was called Short Circuit. Ever heard of that? And
yeah, Short Circuit.
Yeah, and the interesting part about Short Circuit is that it's studied in school. That movie is studied in school because it's the forming of a child, the learning process, although very quickly. And Johnny 5 actually was filmed in Toronto, in my hometown, and all of the sites that we love and we take friends to who visit our city. And so it's got a special place in our heart for that movie, and certainly the sequel that comes up afterwards called Johnny 5. Johnny 5 alive. So I really like the reference, Stefan, on how you did that. So, and it's such a, that become my favorite pilot. And I first saw Mike flying with it when Mike and I were connecting and flying together and figuring this product out. And I said, wow, look at that. And I changed over from whatever I was over to Johnny 6 because it was so cool, right? They made more than 2.
Nice.
Walk the Beagle. Sorry, Stefan, you said something there while I was starting to read chat. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that I agree. I think I know just people just fly with Johnny 6, and it's definitely the most loved character of all 3. So that's nice.
Ace, what a view. Man, what a view. Wow. So glad when we tuned into you. We'll see how you're doing in a few minutes. And so they made more than 2. Walk the Beagle. Yeah, they actually had something like 12 of them made, and one of them actually committed suicide too during filming. It went right through the window on the, I don't know if it was the 27th floor or something of the Toronto Dominion Center, and crashed to the ground in a million pieces. And it's like, wow, the first robotic suicide in history happened in Toronto. There's some tidbit of information. So let's go take a look at the tablet, the live version of the tablet, and then I'll just talk about missions and demo that. So let's go to mine for the moment. Let me do something in the demo anyway. So let's go look to the tablet here. And we'll zoom in, and this is an this is a Shift 7 view. All right, and I'm just going to zoom in on that view so you guys can get a bigger version of it. You saw Mike taking off all the covers like this on the RBF screen, the remove before flight items. All right, now let's just start on the far left here. We'll take a look at fuel. You saw something similar to this in the upper corner when we were on the fuel button here. And there I've got full tanks right now because I'm sitting on the ground and it's just generating fuel. So I'm not burning it at all. And so you take a look here, you can actually do these presets. So I'm guessing, and this is, Stefan, even with all the hours he already helped us with, we still didn't answer all the questions. I'm guessing this would be used for when you're coming into land and you want to reduce your fuel real quick. I'm guessing. So am I on the right track there, or what else would we use this preset for?
That's just if you are in panic, like, oh, I don't have enough fuel, or I have too much fuel, and you just want to quickly change your current status. It's an assist if you want. Yeah. But if you really have too much fuel and you want to get rid of some, at low altitude, you just use the afterburners with the speed brakes on, and you will burn your fuel very quickly. So no need for that.
There we go. Did you know that, Mike? Sorry, Ace, what was that?
I was saying the afterburners are pretty much a fuel dump.
Yeah, that's okay. Exactly. It's a fuel dump. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, interesting. So, all right, so that's the fuel preset page, you guys. And then now we'll just go to the pilot. You heard about Johnny 6. You can read about him here. The self-named Johnny 6, and you can see it's really a robot, an android, if you will. And then you can just go to the next one here, and the next one, and the next one. You can see there's 3 so far. I'm going to say so far, Stefan, because I don't know. You might add more to this in an update. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Stani is bringing some new ideas with boxes, and also we might add at least a 4th pilot soon.
Well, okay. That's cool, right? I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't want to put any pressure on you, right? But here's Ethan, and then, of course, over here we have Yasna, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, because this is a reference to something that's already out there, I'm guessing, right?
No, it's completely fictional.
Oh, it is? Okay, all right.
Ethan is a character from a movie that we might all know, but this is completely fictional.
Okay. I see Ace, you're chuckling because you know something.
Yeah.
All right, and then now you saw the RBF. Now I'm going to jump over cargo for a minute because I'm going to demo that live in a minute here. Looking at the options, you can do the noise reduction. Now, I want to mention about noise reduction. These are just some options you can turn on, like the temperature unit. In Canada, we'll pick Celsius, and in USA, they'll pick Fahrenheit. That kind of thing. But I want to mention to you guys, if you want to reduce the noise inside the plane, just click here and put on the headset. And also you can read the checklist a lot easier too, because you do that, right? Now with the headset on, you would hear a reduction in the sound from the airplane. All right, now I didn't actually demo that, but let me just go back. I've got 2 engines running. Let's just hear the difference. There it is without the headset on. And there it is with the headset on. Nice. Now if we went outside the plane, yeah, well, maybe you're not going outside the plane with a headset on.
No, it doesn't work outside. It's just inside.
No, it makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't just jump out with your headset on. So noise reduction on, and it's just really the same link by the sounds of it, or by my testing.
Yeah, it does exactly the same.
When you do it here, or whether you click the headset. Vibrations normal. I don't know. I like extremes, right? Off, low, normal. Okay, there's no extremely high. No, okay. And then I mentioned temperature. Shiver. Okay, what's the shiver SFX on? What does that do, Stefan?
So for people who fly with Johnny 6, it doesn't do anything.
Right. He has no emotions, right?
He's a robot.
He doesn't get cold.
He doesn't feel cold. He doesn't know what it is. But if you fly with Yasna or Ethan, and the temperature inside the aircraft is too cold, so in Fahrenheit, I don't remember exactly which temperature it is, but if it's too cold and the canopy is open, or you didn't check your climate control, your temperature, then you will hear this shivering sound from your pilot.
Well, from
either
the
masculine or feminine sounds.
Wild. So we'll have to test that. I don't know. I didn't test it. Did you, Charlie? Did you test that?
I have not tested it.
Ace, anyone? Mike? No? I haven't tested that.
I used Johnny 6.
Somebody did it the other night. Might have been Stefan, though.
Yeah,
probably Stefan, right? Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I'm trucking along at Mach 2.958 or 1,296 miles an hour at 50,000 feet, and I have my throttles pulled back to idle except for one.
Cool.
And I'm doing just slightly under Mach 3.
Such an efficient plane. I love it. Absolutely cool. So, you guys, the last thing, Stefan, is Sude's graffiti visible. What's that mean?
Yeah, that's something that's visible or not visible on the outside of the aircraft. It's so Sude is one of the guys who works with us and who made a lot of improvements to this tablet, and including all the cargo mission stuff. It's all his work. So a fantastic guy. And he also likes to do some digital graffitis from time to time. And I said, hey, just make a graffiti, nice graffiti saying Quasar, and we'll put it somewhere on the aircraft outside of it. And it will be, of course, toggleable, so people who don't want to see it don't have to see it.
Okay.
But you would have to find it also.
Oh, you have to find it yourself. Okay, obvious. I thought you were going to reveal where it was, right? No, I'm ready for it.
I can tell you where it is. It's on the left main landing gear interior.
Inside the actual landing gear cavity, is that what you're saying? Also, we'd have to be in drone mode to see it, right?
One of the panels, this panel that's just behind your cursor. But there is a delay between what I see.
Yeah, you can see it easy when you have the nuclear bay open and look to your right.
Okay. So do you have that open, Mike, on yours?
No, I'm still in the plane. I just seen it the other day, though.
Okay. So we'll let everyone who gets the plane figure that out.
Nice
That's cool. That is cool. All right, so I want to mention here, you saw Mike using speeds here for reference. All of us have done this when we're actually flying. Some info in there too. Now, this is where you can download the complete user manual. You guys can do that right now while it's on the screen. And then in the left one, the quick tips. If you have any questions regarding this aircraft, you can access a quick tips page, which we have. And it's for those of us who just want the simplified checklist, I just want to get it running and get flying, then that would be the easy way to do it. Just use the quick tips PDF, which is really handy, right? Now, the interesting part, I'll talk about the music and then I'll go to a mission, you guys. So music, you can see the selection here. I can't play them to show you samples because, they're licensed, you guys. And, on this channel, we've always done royalty-free music from Epidemic Sound. I have, being a DJ and certainly a karaoke DJ, I have every song you can imagine. My collection is vast, and but I can't play any of it on this channel. And so in this case here, I can't play any of these. But let me tell you, these are high quality and beautiful. And you get up there and looking like you see where you see Ace up there in space like this, and start playing some of that beautiful music. It's just so soothing. You probably would even fall asleep. It's so good. And then, of course, there's a great variety in here, and the great variety that you see in here are cinematic, electronic, and folk acoustic, which is really nice too. And certainly there's a good rock one in there. The Crimson Horizon's a good one. And here's your volume if you want to really crank it up while you're flying. So that is a really nice feature, and it's only for when you're on your own in the plane, of course, right? I can't do that on Twitch, but it's awesome. I really like it.
Recommend empty vessels.
Okay. Empty, what'd you call it? Oh, empty vessels, right? Yeah. And these are amazing selections. So Stefan, tell me about, how did you come about selecting these particular ones?
Well, I subscribe to a website, just like you with Epidemic Sound, but it's another website for me, and to which I used for the Cara sound, Caroline. So it's a text-to-speech AI, and the website is very cool. It's called artlist.io. So nice website. And while subscribing to it, I also discovered that it had many resources like sounds, music, sound effects, and many other stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, I can improve my sound pack also with the same website. And we have a ton of music, so let's put some music in the
Cool.
And it was just like I'm just taking profit of my subscription right now. It's cool.
That is good. Well, way to go. That is neat. And so, nice little touch. I really like it. So now let's go. This is where I'm going to demo you guys. Now, this is the cargo area. Now, the interesting part about cargo is it's for missions. And you can see in this version of the Quasar, I've got 4 missions finished already, and that's how far I've traveled. For testing purposes, I've only done a few short ones and a medium one. And of course, the longer and the extreme, in this aircraft, certainly that can eat up the hours, but certainly faster than anything else that's ever in the sim. But I did the short and the medium just so I can do some testing. The short one is so short that you won't have much time for anything else, and you don't want to go too high, right? And so when you select them, and this part really, we didn't even know, or I don't think any of our team knew about this part of it fully until we had our second meeting with Stefan, where he actually pointed out, you select a cargo, and it actually gives you the missions. So it doesn't actually say missions across the top here. It says cargo. And that's the next thing. I wouldn't normally gravitate toward cargo yet until I got to know the plane. And that's why I didn't know about this feature. Once I saw this feature, I realized, wait a second, this is cool. So once you select one mission that you want to do, then it will put the cargo in the back. You'll hear the onboard computer talking about loading up. And you will actually see it if you look through this window at the back. You'll see it pop up right into this back part. I'm just showing you a quick view here, but you'll see the cargo get loaded, and then it'll be ready to go. So give you an example of what that looks like as if I was going to go out on a mission right now. And then you can play with the range slider. Now there is a next page and a next page. You can keep going, but let's just do a couple that I've already done already, or pick one. I'm going to just go to the next page. Are these the shorter ones, I think? Yeah. Dust from Mars. So let's do that, all right? 173 nautical mile. It stays within the country. Now, the longer missions, when you start getting into the long missions, they, of course, go to other countries. I mean, I don't know. Going to Colombia? I don't know. Look, did I see flux capacitor? Look, there it is. Okay, let's use that one. That's a good one. Loading the flux capacitor. That's a great reference. I like it. And these are, I'm just discovering them as we go along. I get a better view in there. Let's see. Maybe I can't get a better view in there. Oh, maybe through there. Like that. Once it's loaded, yep, there it is. It's loaded in, you guys, and strapped in. Look. Now, you can use your drone camera and go around and take a look at that with a better view, but... All right, so, and then down here, now this is important, you guys, so take a look at this. One of the reasons I can pick a mission is because my canopy is still open. All right, you see that? So now I can close my canopy and pull up the ladder. All right, I've already got my engines running, but now I can do both of those. We go outside and we see all that happening. There's the ladder going back in. There's the canopy closing. And so that's, you know, that's how the mission would start, right? And now this will be green once you land at your destination. I don't know if it's because I taxi all the way to the tower, but it does come up green at some point if you do it properly. And then you say complete mission. Is that cool or what? I mean, this is really nice. So it stays like this. You can certainly use all the other screens, go to your music or whatever else you want to do, and then come back to this cargo page and say complete mission when you're done. So that's a really nice feature, guys. I'm not going to actually fly it tonight, but I'm giving you an idea of how to do that. All right. So that's showing you the tablet. That's what I was going to demonstrate, was just showing you what that looks like. And now we'll just do a quick check and see how. Let me see who I'm going to pick this time. Charlie, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Right
Sitting
here
in my plane, waiting for Mike to go.
So you're waiting for Mike to go? Okay, so Charlie, you're going to be demonstrating the slower flight mode, right?
Yep.
Yep. Mike, you already demonstrated your checklist part. I think you're off the hook for the rest of the lesson tonight. But is there something you want to still do when you get into the air? Or we're just going to come back and see how you're doing, just status then, I guess, right?
Well, I can mention something while you're on my screen, Howard, if you want. Sure. So you see over on my MFD here, I have programmed in a flight plan, and it's important to have that ready to go, as Howard said, because you want to stay ahead of the plane and things go so fast. But especially on your terminal end, program some waypoints so you know where you're supposed to be, what altitude you're supposed to be at as you're coming in on approach, because you're going so fast. And even when you slow down to approach speed, for those of us used to flying at 172, 300 knots is still pretty fast, and things happen very quickly. And at that speed and lower altitude, you can use your autopilot if you want. You can use you set your flight plan up for autopilot. You can set up an approach in the G3000. All that works great. Unfortunately for this airport, because it's a top secret Area 51 airport, there are no approaches programmed in the G3000 in Flight Sim. You can't find anything in SkyVector. You can't find anything in Little Nav Map for that. You can't even find the airport sky picture, or for
it's
that
like
matter,
it
Navigraph charts.
It's like it doesn't exist. Like maybe we're hiding the aliens there or something.
That's right. Now, Edwards Air Force Base, I've done a mission down to there, and it does have all the frequencies showing up in say intention. So you can do that.
Now,
pick a mission that goes to Edwards Air Force Base, right?
Now, Mike, through say intentions with his connections, he was able to come up with an old set of approach charts. And actually, I think they're very old because the runway was 3.2 at that time. Now it's 3.3. And so I took some waypoints from that and programmed them in, and that's what I'm using for a flight plan. But you really need to fly this low and slow. In my case, I'll be doing it at 10,000 feet and maybe 300 to 400 knots, which is where you would do, as you're coming in on approach, for your destination.
Cool. All right. So we'll come back to you now. Now, just 1 second while you're there.
Mike's already taken off.
Mike's already taken off. He's gone.
Yeah.
Mike, take off, eh? So let me say this, Charlie. While we're on your screen, can you show us the G3000 over on the left there, setting it up? You mentioned it, so I wanted you to show it. Yeah.
Yep. So right now it's showing MFD, and of course this is not these are not touch screens.
Can you zoom in a little more?
G1000. Yep.
Do you mind? Yeah. Thanks.
So these are not touch screens. Let me get over there. You have to use your soft keys here. So right now it's on MFD, and it's showing this is a button to go to half. Like I said, it's touchscreen in some parts of it. So right now you see the MFD on the full screen. Now you will notice a blank part here. That's where in normal airplanes you would have your engine information. But of course for this airplane we don't have that. We have a whole separate screen for engine. So that's blank. You can go to half screen here if you want. So you can see weather or traffic or whatever, but I'm not using that today. You can go, and I'm not an expert on the G3000, but if you've done played with the GTN 750, you can, a lot of it makes sense. You can show the flight plan. You can, look at your procedures. And again, for this, look at approach procedures, you got visual approach procedures. That's it. There are no instrument approach procedures in the flight sim for this. So you can set up map settings and the whole bit. And you can do similar things for your PFD, do a lot of different controls for your PFD, put in speed bugs if you want. You've got map settings if you want to set up, insert a map. So you see a map comes in there. I don't use that. Okay, how do I get rid of it? Oh, off, okay. So, and again, that's on this top GTC button. Then you got, of course, your engine, your fuel, and your gas button. Crew alerting system that we've shown before.
That's great. So thanks for that overview. And you guys, if you've done this package of avionics before, then it'll be very familiar to you. So we'll come back to you, Charlie, in a minute. We'll be doing the demo with you. But let me just show you guys, when you do the missions, I didn't show you the finished screen. I took a snapshot of one of my missions to show you what that looks like. And I guess a stock of batarangs have been delivered successfully, whatever those are. I think they're from Batman.
Those are boomerangs thrown by Batman.
It's boomerangs from Batman. I mean, everybody should have one of those, right? And the onboard computer talks to you about these things, about being successful or being snide. I mean, there's some comments that come out of there that they have Mike rolling on the floor. So, it depends on how your mission was and how you treated your plane, for sure. It was just amazing. All right, so what I want to do is I want to finish up my lesson part and then give you demos, all right? And we'll probably do, I'm trying to think about what we'll do first. Probably we'll go to you, Charlie, first, because you're going to be doing the low and slow, right? So We'll let you do the takeoff and the low and slow kind of idea, and then we'll move from there. What I will mention, you guys, as soon as we go to Charlie's demo, I'm going to exit from the screen for a minute. I've got to stretch because I've injured myself today, and I have to get up and stretch because it's I've got to move. So I'll leave it with Charlie for about 2 minutes, and then let him continue as long as he wants, and I'll just step away from the microphone at that point.
Slight timely interruption, real quick. You guys ever see the Eye of Africa from space?
No.
Let's have a look at this.
It's just off my nose.
Cool.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Look at that view. I mean, I hope you're taking screen snaps, Ace.
About the Eye of Africa, it's one of the 20 or 20-ish spots that if you fly below, at lower altitude. I think it's between 4,000 and 8,000 feet. Kara will say something about it. She has some lines that
yeah, it would take me a while to get down
locations.
there.
Yeah, it will take a while, but next time. Next time you will see.
It's cool though.
Yeah, I'm just going to mention about Kara in there. It's the onboard voice. Yeah, that's it. Look at the view. Every time we come to your screen, it's like, holy smokes. Wow. Isn't that amazing? So cool. And then I'm going to go take a look at Andrew. Where are you at, Andrew? What's happening with you?
Just coming up to Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's Michigan.
Hey, you're coming back into Canada, eh? At what altitude, Andrew?
49,000. I'm just going to come back down to 40.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan was so many miles ago.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go take a look, you guys. The last part here before we go for more demos. Where are all the things? We've learned some already from the demos we've seen where some things are already. We've taken a look at the avionics screens. Mike has shown us some of the tablet. I've shown you some of the tablet. And each of us have given you a taste of a few of these areas in here. Certainly Mike showed us where the circuit breakers were too. And they all work and it looks great. Even the indicator that the circuit breaker has popped, it shows the little red wings on the circuit breaker, which is beautiful. It's just well done, Stefan, on all of the detail, the attention to detail in this thing. So let's just go through
I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, you should be proud of it, and you can hear from the reaction in the chat too that people are just like, I gotta go get this thing. Can I get it on the marketplace? Cool. Where can I buy it? You know, I'm sure that things are busy right now with people picking this thing up. And come and join us at this airport, you guys, and come fly with us. You know, and we'll get a bunch of us in the sky, right? So normal view, of course, as you're flying, I still like to see a bit more of the, at least of the PFD. So when I come to this view, I shift it down a bit just so that I can see more of the PFD as I'm going along. But you know, it's only preferences, you guys. This is a perfect view. And of course, your hat switch, if you have one, will still look left and right and all the rest of it. And certainly, like Mike and I do, when we use our head tracker, I think Andrew, you have one also. It's the better way to fly anyway, certainly when you're on your own, right? Now we go to shift 1, it zooms in on our PFD and MFD, and of course it lets you have access to all the autopilot stuff too. And certainly things that we haven't shown you yet, the panel lights, and maybe Ace can show us this when he's that high up in the darkness. He can show us some of the different variations of the colors inside the cockpit, which are just awesome. So those of you who didn't notice on the PFD, there is an AOA indicator right here, which is awesome. And we'll give you a hint too. Stefan did the first demos for us, and we're starting to take notes. I noticed that when he was taking off from the runway, he pitched it about 15 degrees. So that seemed to work for us and for taking off. But we have taken it to extremes to see how it handles under different angles of taking off.
You can take off at 80 degrees if you want.
If you want, just what is it you want to do? It's like how much fuel you want, yeah. So shift 2 now takes us over here to this screen, which is very important. You saw us flipping through these 4 main buttons here, and including going to the GTC for this avionics package. So this is very important. We come to here a lot, all right? And underneath there, you see the trims. So that's handy too. You saw this one already. Shift 3 gets us over here to this panel, and there's an interesting lever right here. This is the fact lever that he mentions in his speed diagram, you guys, when you want to really land on a short, I think it was the minimum you could land on was 3,000 feet.
No, for
4,000.
4,000 something. Okay. So, so it might even fit on Toronto Island Airport. I think it's the biggest runway is 4,000 feet. And if it won't fit, well, you'll be in the drink. But, you know, it's like... So, anyway, this is an interesting feature. I like it. I haven't tested that part. You know, there's still things I want to do. And also here, I like how he's etched in, right in the panels, he's etched in cruise settings here. And then on the right side with a Shift 4, he's also got... Shift 4 here shows us the start switches and you know, turning on each of the engines and all that, and your APU stuff. Sorry, that was Shift 4. Shift 5, as we come over to this side, we can see there's some more etchings up here, as I showed you earlier, for your checklists, which are really handy. So there's lots of reference stuff here without going to manuals. I like that. Here I've just clicked on hide the stick. This is the stick normally, but now I can see all the buttons we need during our checklists. Very simple though, you guys, when you think about power up here, parking, brake, and avionics, etc., canopy and ladder, and then we can see our normal lights on and off, and then we see all our testing. So, you know, after a while, when we first saw Stefan demo this, it was a blur. Charlie and I were like, what did he do? And when the rest of the team is asking us, how do you do that? We go, I don't know. He just clicked everything. It was just like, man. So we had to ask him for another meeting, and then we were there taking notes, right? We even recorded the meeting so we could, okay, we got to do that. Now we're at the point, and like Mike's got to be at least 25 hours in now. I think he holds the record for the most amount of testing in our group. And
62 and a half.
62 and a half. Seems like, holy smokes. Last time I heard you were at 24. Okay, 62 and a half hours. And so we're at this stage now. We're doing the same thing that Stefan did. We're like, click, 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 click. Yeah, we know what to do. We don't even have to read the checklist. Do. And so this is how it gets you guys as you get familiar with the plane. And that's why I'm showing you these views if you don't have a head tracker or you haven't moved around. All right, so shift 6 gets us right down to the circuit breakers, but you got to click them to open them like you saw Mike do. Shift 7 gets us into this view where you can quickly go here and do anything you want on the tablet. Shift 8 is a look out the window, and Shift 9 is back to normal. Now, the HUD, by the way, there's a HUD right here, this dial. All of these dials, and this is something that I didn't know until, you know, I was clicking and trying to do my mouse wheel, and then I saw Stefan just click it and then hold it and slide it left and right, and it makes the dials move. So this one up here that shows your fuel generation consumption graph, it's all the way to the left to start with. You can drag it over once to the vertical position to see the status of your engines and the fuel tanks, and then you can take it to the far right position where you saw the red bar and the green bar. So that's really handy with this little dial here. Down here, your HUD dial here takes your HUD from not visible to turning it on, so it flips up, and then it also controls the brightness of your HUD. Maybe at night you wouldn't want it as bright as in the daytime, so that's really handy. And if you don't want to use it, you just go left with that dial and it's out of the way. And all the other dials can change your colors and set things up. So, you know, everything's right here at our fingertips for sure. It was really well thought out and really well done. All right, and then here's our main displays for everything we need to do. Everything is on these 4 screens. It's all here, right, once you're rolling. And that's your focus, all right? All right, so now we've already unwrapped it. We've looked at controls. Mike's shown us cold and dark. We've done cockpit orientation. Ace is practicing at altitude. What we're going to do first, Ace, if you don't mind, we're going to go to Charlie first. And then I have to take a quick break while we do that.
Ace is like 3/4 of the way around, so he'll be coming from the other direction.
Yeah, we'll see him coming in again, right? Probably his second pass.
Kick the stream out about another hour or so, and yeah, I'll probably be coming right back up on where I started.
Probably so.
Yeah. Frankenstein says, that many hours in such a short time, that's not testing, that's love. Did you hear that, Mike? That's love.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's so true. So true, you guys. So we've been very generous. I mean, Stefan's been very generous in giving us this product to test because we wanted to do a more in-depth lesson than just a first look. And so we have been ringing it out and taking it seriously, and I hope we've done some justice for you on this in the lesson. If you guys buy the product tonight...
Absolutely. Very proud of you guys, but I still didn't see you land, so I will wait.
I will hold back my praise until I see what you do with the landing, right? Oh, did we decide who's going to do the landing, you guys? Was that supposed to be me? Who's going to do the landing?
So.
Who was it? We're going to draw straws.
Whoever's available.
I think Mike should do it. I think he's perfected it. No, I'm not going to put the pressure on you, Mike. He's got the most amount of hours, but you know, maybe I'll demo that for you guys, right?
Not the most amount of landings, just the most amount of hours.
But by the time I'm done, the nearest airport will probably be on the moon.
Yep, probably on the moon. Yep. All right, so prepare for the flight, you guys. You can. I'm finding that using Little Ant Map, here's one of the missions I did. That will help you to get the bigger picture to see what's going on. That's just one suggestion. You notice in here it actually does show the information about his airplane, which is really handy. This is a great tool for anything we do in the sim. So once you have your mission, just plug in the 2 airports and away you go. All right. Our demonstration team's out of KXTA, which is Homey Area 51. If you guys want to come and join us, come on down to the airport and join us in flight, and away we go. And there's our demonstration team. And I know we've got to finish up and get demos going.
Or just as Super Taya said, it is quarter after 1 in the morning for.
Yeah, I know. I know. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. I just wake up in 6 hours. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's fine. He says, I'll just be a zombie at work tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, so let's go over to Charlie right now, and let's let Charlie do his demo, and we'll go straight from there to Ace and see what he's at. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that for the moment while I do a quick stretch here.
All right, so I'm just about to pull onto the runway. I've got my engine 2 and 3 started up. So you taxi with 1 and 4, and then you need to start 2 and 3 up. Okay, Krabby 1's going to beat me to the runway. Or no, he's just pulling off to the side there. Okay, what's he doing? I guess he's going to stop. Okay, so I'm going to take the runway. So you need your APU on to start your engines 2 and 3, and then you can shut it off. So I've gone through the checklist and everything up to lining up on the runway.
Yeah, actually, you don't need the APU for engine 2 and 3. We just noticed that 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay, this is not a very good start to my demo. I'm off the runway already.
No, but it's all right.
I've not had this problem before.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Here we go, full throttle. So you can watch speed there on the HUD on the left. So approaching 100 knots. There we go. So we'll just kind of keep it on the center line. So 380 is your, well, I guess you could rotate a little bit before that, but 380 is kind of your liftoff point. So here we go, before we get off. So one thing I didn't mention is I programmed in my altitude, 10,000 feet, which I'm going to fly at, and my heading for my next waypoint, so I can quickly notice how fast I'm climbing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn autopilot on now. Put it in heading mode. And vertical speed mode. So I don't want to climb quite so fast. So it's now controlling.
Oh, it can get away with you guys. It can get away from you.
Put a plane together.
No
All right,
panic.
let's see if I can get back to my flight plan here.
And one thing we noticed too during landings, you guys, and I guess what we'll do is we'll reserve the landing till Thursday, and we'll show you 4 of us doing landings. Okay, we'll do that Thursday. So come Thursday, I think Stefan, you'll tune in, but we won't make you stay all evening. Okay. So yeah, I'm sure you can't do 2 in a row like that. And I think you guys, if you'd like to also see Stefan on Murphy's stream tomorrow night, tune in to see Murph tomorrow. And, Stefan's making appearances on both Murphy and our stream. So, and then he'll be back here on Thursday, and we'll do some landings without any pressure and time and being late at night.
Yeah, I might even fly with you on Thursday. Who knows?
That would be cool. Oh, so you could demonstrate the landing.
Yeah, but I'm not sure you could share my screen, but or maybe you can. I don't know how it works. But yeah.
We'll figure something out. But no, I'm not putting pressure on you. It's you've given us this aircraft for 3 weeks. We've got to demonstrate the landing, right? So, but we won't do it under pressure at late hours. So we'll do it Thursday, guys.
So what you're saying, Howard, is that Thursday we're all going to meet up at Oshkosh and put these on the dots.
I think that's what we should do. Put them on the dots. Yeah. Yeah, right. I don't know. Can you imagine? We're just lucky to get them on the runway. Come on, Ace. Let's be realistic. All right,
so
Charlie,
what I like to do as a bit of a challenge, although I know, Stefan, we don't have to do that. I like to see if I can get my fuel use balance with my fuel production. And so you see 0 GPM right here on my net fuel production. Beautiful. And all tanks are full. And that's for at least at 10,000 feet. That's around 50%. Get my engine synchronized a little better here. Around 51% on the engines.
Yeah, 0 GPM is a very nice number. It's like you burn exactly the same amount as you produce, so that's nice.
And of course, fuel is essentially free, so you don't have to be at 0. But
yeah, of course.
I wouldn't say it's free. I would say it's plentiful.
Well,
I wouldn't say it's free.
Yeah, okay, plentiful. The marginal cost is low. So yeah, you can switch over to Ace now. I'm just about little ways to get back to my flight plan.
Okay, cool.
I messed up to start with.
And you guys, with the rest of the team, we'll work on our landings for Thursday, and we'll do them calmly, all right? Because we're going to carry on with this on Thursday. It'll be fun. Let's take a look at how Ace is doing. All right, so let's move down to that. If I can just find it quickly here, somewhere back here. Sorry, you guys, I was ready for it, and then I scrolled right here. There you go, Ace. You're in. Oh, every time I see this view.
Welcome back, everybody, to my screen. I am currently at 1,284,300 odd feet. I believe the ISS is at about 1.3. So I'm right up here with the ISS right now.
Be careful. You might hit it.
And I have turned unlimited fuel on. So we are just going to go for an altitude run now. We're going to bring up our throttles. And put on the afterburn. Start to pitch up. Gotta be a little careful so I don't throw myself into a violent, uncontrollable spiral.
I think at one point, I think it's at around 1.5 million feet, you will still be able to climb, but you will notice some glitches in the render engine of Flight Simulator. And it's because Asobo didn't plan that anyone would fly so high. So there is some kind of dark shadows over the Earth and inside the cockpit, and something we can't do anything about. Just ask Asobo to, please, can we fly higher with light? It would be nice.
Right.
But yeah, we really reached all the limits of the simulator.
Nicely done. Way to go. That's a badge of honor, Stefan.
Of course.
I would say that's a badge of honor. Way to go.
We're very proud of this.
Reached all the limits of the sim. Strap's going to wait for Noiseboy Mike to butter the landing, Mr. 62 hours in. Pressure's on, Mike.
But what's impressive, so it's that you can go so fast, so high, and you can just descend anywhere, and the Earth always looks stunning. And really, that's a nice job on Asobo and Microsoft, because it wasn't easy. It wasn't meant for that, and yet it works kind of well.
Yeah, and it works really well, yeah. Look at that. Look at the angle.
So beautiful. Yeah.
Here's
Look
the moon,
at that.
by the way, just off my canopy.
And those are afterburners you've got on? That's what that effect is?
I do have the afterburners on, yep.
Is
I'm
that
just
beautiful?
punching it up now at this point. We're at 1.6 million.
Wow. And that livery you're using, Ace?
Blue Angels.
Blue Angels, you guys recognize the colors?
Because I could totally see myself landing this thing on an aircraft carrier. It doesn't even have a tail hook. I mean,
the whole team is laughing right now. It's like, okay, Ace, we want to see that, man. We're going to hold you to it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Earth is so beautiful from here, and it's sad that it's not showcased more within the sim. And I really hope that at some point we will have real spaceships or rockets or anything. It would be so cool.
I think it was
expanding the possibilities.
I think it was FSX where we actually had the space shuttle. I mean, it wasn't that functional, but we could take off and go straight up and start gliding around. I'm sure of it. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Didn't do much. I mean, there's no switches or anything inside.
It didn't look the same as this one, so
2 million feet.
But like Frankenstein says, he says, yep, kudos to MS Asobo. We really enjoyed flying this aircraft after my work was done. So true, right?
I think we are now looking down at most satellites and things.
Yeah. DNH says...
You passed the ISS, actually. The ISS is at 1.3 million feet.
1.3,
so
yeah.
Passed it.
Did you see it go by? I mean, doesn't it circle the Earth 17 times in a day? Something like that?
Some skilled developer might need to mod the ISS into the sim.
Wouldn't that be wild? That would be wild.
as a scenery or something.
Is that a hint to, a certain developer that's listening right now?
We might be thinking about something like that.
Oh, really?
It will depend
we got it out of them, see?
It will largely depend on the success of the Quasar, because it would require some resources, some external help, and some additional time. And we also want to work on the next one, the Hind. So
here comes the shader glitch. Everything just black on my plane if I look back at the planet.
Exactly.
Why is that? Oh, I see. Where it's
a rendering glitch above about 2 million feet.
Because it doesn't expect anyone would be there. That's why.
Yeah.
It says, we don't have to worry about that. Well, you do now.
They have to fix it.
Actually, it's not bad in silhouette anyway. That's a nice effect, right?
Yeah. The problem is if I start to turn the plane down towards the planet, it'll happen in cockpit too, and everything in here. Like, see if I look behind me, and everything's black in the back of the aircraft. I can't see.
Strange, eh? Wow.
Yeah, it's as Stefan said, it's not any of his doing. It's just the sim. But maybe if we all blow up the forum with this, maybe they can.
That would be cool. I think
look into it and fix it. Still I'm sure they have other priorities, but
let's spearhead that. I think that's a great idea.
Come on, guys, space flight. Put the moon in the sim. Let's get there.
Exactly.
Maybe Mars.
Yeah. This thing could get there too. With the kind of fuel consumption you're doing. It would take a while though, wouldn't it? Wow.
I've crossed the 3 million feet.
Look at that.
At this point, we're not even worrying about fuel consumption. You could do this much slower in stages with the fuel if you level out, build your fuel back up, do another burn to get higher, and so on and so forth. They'll take a long time. In the interest of everybody's sanity, I went for unlimited fuel.
Okay, so I was going to say put the fuel page up on your left display there, but maybe that's going to just say unlimited, right?
It's just frozen where I left it when I went unlimited.
I see. Yeah, I see how that works. Yeah.
Hit the jets.
Let's just have a quick look over at Mike, because he's got a gorgeous view here also. Look at this. And what livery are you flying, Mike?
The NASA one.
The NASA one. I like that one. Yeah. I got a hat just like it, but I had to wear the Lord Frites hat. I really did. Yeah. Cool, Mike. Back to Ace. And Andrew, if you got an outside view, I want to see what livery you're flying. I think you mentioned it earlier, but I think we were off stream when you were telling us. So maybe you can show us.
It's the Normandy, right?
What are you flying there, Andrew? Is that the Normandy?
It's the Normandy SR2.
Is there that was going to be my question, Stefan, is which Normandy, 1 or 2? But then I did an exterior view and went, oh, okay, it's SR2.
Yeah, I think
it's the second one.
And what's the significance of that, Andrew? You know the history of these sorts of things, right?
It's the ship that is the main base for the Mass Effect series of games from 2 and 3, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think
SR1 was only in the first game, and then they blew it up and brought it back in SR2 in the second game.
It gets destroyed in the 3 at the beginning of the 3, I think.
I can't remember now. It's one or the. It's either this is either from 2 and 3 or from 3, but I can't remember. It's been a while since I've.
It's a sci-fi space RPG where you play a hero which just goes around the galaxies and solves issues.
Cool.
And that's his main. I mean, the spaceship doesn't look like that, but the painting is exactly the same scheme.
Yeah, same scheme. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you notice the point out of the front of the spaceship, out of this aircraft, you guys. When we were on the ground, that was just sort of a hollow area. When we did the self-test, you saw that the point would come out and back in again. Kind of interesting. Something to do with supersonic speeds, I think.
Absolutely.
Way cool, Andrew. All right, so back to Ace. We did Mike and we did Andrew.
We have we've crossed 4 million feet.
4 million. See, he can. Now this could happen all night, you guys. So he's just showing you how far he's gone so far and what kind of view he's got. Look at that.
If you guys want an example of scale, off the tip of my nose right there is the Sinai Peninsula. there's Italy.
Just like you can just point out the whole world with the tip of the plane.
And there's the Atlantic edge of the continent of Africa. And we just can't quite see the south of Africa yet. But
But you're going to see it as you get higher, right?
Seeing an awful lot of land space in one screenshot here at this point.
Show this to the flat earthers. Come on. Show this to them. You get up high enough. It's curved. Look, it's curved.
They'll probably say it's a simulation, Howard.
Right. That's right. That's what they'll say, yeah.
CGI.
Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, Ace, we're out of time, but I wanted to make sure, how high do you expect to go? I think the testers like Frankenstein and the crew that helped beta test this, I think they made it to 5 million and then they quit. It's just like
it has been pushed past that since the manual was written.
Way much.
But I am coming up on 5 mil. I'm at 4.7 right now.
Surly Dev says, where do we go from here? Tonight, I can only have one answer, and that's down. Down. Yeah. There's only one thing you can do. So, Ace, how would you get down from here? We certainly can't, extend the stream to watch that, but what would you do to go from here back down to Area 51?
Well, first I would probably cut all power, and then, can't do much gliding, but it will start to fall, and it might get a little hairy for a bit, but eventually you hit air, and then you can start to get more controlling it.
Right. Now, you guys, just like in real life, wait till you see the credits. In the credits, I was coming back into the atmosphere, and the bottom of this aircraft gets molten red again, or orange. It's like, oh, that's an awesome thing. So Ace is going to experience that when he comes back into atmosphere, but it's in the credits when we go there, you guys. You'll see what that looks like, right?
Frankenstein says over 5 million.
Frankenstein says, by the time I turned back, I was probably at 7.5 million, but I had people watching the stream at 5 million, technically making me the first official record holder.
It's true. But we have screenshots of some beta testers who just stuck the counter to 9,999,990.
Wow. See? So, already. Son of a gun.
Oh, what was the highest that I sent you, Stefan? I know I sent a picture of mine.
I think it was probably that too.
Yep. I pegged it at the 9,999.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So is it technically still going higher even after that, or is that the ceiling of the sim?
Yeah, it just goes higher, but we didn't have much space in the display to go past 10 million, so I stopped counting.
Well, you need 1.8 to by 10 to the 9 to get to the moon, so that's another 3 digits after where you're at.
Yeah, exactly. We still
you just have to just go into like an exponential readout or something to abbreviate
maybe
it's kind of funny.
Maybe if one day Asobo adds the moon, yes, we will do this. For now, we're waiting for them.
That's wild.
Days.
Add zeros, yeah. Oh, you guys! Oh, what a beautiful view!
So, Howard, I'm about to land. If you want to.
Okay, well, we'll show you that. I was going to just about close the stream, but Charlie, we'll come over and just see how that looks. You're pretty low there. You're coming in to land. Look at you. I'll be quiet for a minute, and I'll ask you some questions.
Okay. She wants to make a maintenance appointment.
See, she wants to make a maintenance appointment, right? But you did it. You're on the ground.
That was a nice landing.
Your tires didn't explode after, what Stefan explained what they did with them. I think Frankenstein, you explained what you did with them.
It's not stopped yet.
That's true.
I stayed on the runway.
Yeah. So your speed brakes are still out. Your brakes are on.
That's all right.
Your engines are at throttle, and you came in on 2 engines, you guys.
Came in on 2 engines, yep.
And I think you touched down somewhere around 220, if I remember the numbers right. We'll have to go back and look at this.
210, I think, or 215, but yeah, very, very good. Very nice.
Reminds me a little bit of a space shuttle landing.
You guys, I would bet, yeah. Well, we still had 2 engines running at idle, right?
I believe that was described as landing a brick with wings.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they didn't have engines to just throttle. It was a glider at that point.
It was definitely a glider at that point.
Technically a glider, but it's using the term glider very loosely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
A brick falling to the ground, yeah. And I saw the Endeavour, the real Space Shuttle Endeavour at the Kennedy Space Center. It's on display there, you guys. You can get right up there, real close to the thing. It's enormous, and you don't realize the enormity of the space shuttle until you're there. But that's for another stream. So, Charlie, way to go! You made the stream complete, and Stefan even approved of that landing.
Yeah,
even though
I can now see the Swiss Alps north of Italy.
Even though Kara didn't like it.
Yeah, but Kara, sometimes she says yay, sometimes she says, oh, it's depending on her mood, you know.
That's true, right? I've had a few yays from her, but I had a maintenance schedule too with one of my landings.
Yeah, it was a good landing.
Falling with style. And NL says, yeah, falling with style.
I can now see most of France.
Look at you. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, you were just saying that because Stefan's here. That's yeah. That was a good one. That's a good one.
It is true though. I'm pushing 6.7 million feet now, so I'm getting to see more and more.
Scruffy's here, right at the end of our stream. Scruffy, you're gonna have to go back and see the VOD. We've had so much fun. You guys, I want to say,
what's up?
I'm going to have to start wrapping up, so I'm going to have to say to my crew, you guys, Ace, Mike, Charlie, Andrew, thanks for showing this demo. And Krabby One and the rest of you that are in chat that have also been flying along and helping out in this stream. Thanks for that. I mean, this has been amazing. You guys make the thing happen, right? But, you know...
It's quite an airplane.
The big thank you, of course, you guys, is going to go directly over to Stefan because, you know, none of this fun would have been possible without what he's done with this product and his beta testers to make it really work. So you guys, there's the link to the presentation right there. This is the presentation part that I made, but certainly when you get the product, you get the quick tips and you get the manual and you get all of that also. I want to thank all of you for your participation in this. We're going to have to stop the stream at this point and let poor Stefan go to bed because it's like way late now, all right? But thank you, Stefan, for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for me too. Absolutely a blast. And we had so much fun. And yeah, very well done presentation from all the crew. So good job, guys. And I can't wait to fly with you in 2 days now. So,
in 2 days, right? Yeah, that'll give you enough time to rest up for another long haul, right?
We'll see. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. And thanks for the demos team. You know, it makes it easier on me that you guys can do this and do it better than I would while I'm streaming. So thank you for that. We'll all be flying this on Thursday, you guys. So come join us on Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Right? And I know some of you, it's the American Thanksgiving, but there's still the rest of the world who still expects us to stream. So we'll be here. All right, and we'll be tuning in. So it'll be a lot of fun. And thanks for, you know, those of you who commented in chat, and Frankenstein for being here. That was nice of you to show up too. So we're heading to credits, and as Surly Dev says, where do we go from here? Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.